Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Monday Sound Stream. We're back, and we got a full house because it's not just me; it's also Kaus.
Yeah, I just got one thing to say to you.
Yes.
Up 4-4, 4-2-3.
Kaus was desperately trying to teach me Tekken last night. I was not the best student, but I was eventually getting it. Eventually, I mean, it was. I was rough. I was not good at repeating successful maneuvers. So, anyways, we also have our awesome graphic designer, DarkClaw643.
Quarter circle, fireball, dragon punch motion.
Yeah.
You said fireball twice technically, so that you actually pulled off a Shinku Hadouken, then a Shoryuken.
Yeah.
And then we also have joining us for a rare occasion. It's Wheelchair 21.
What that means,
Hey, there
it's
he is.
gonna be lit.
Yeah, which is good because
But
we
that
actually
show-
have
But that, sh-
SMP news, so it'll be great.
but that show's been dead for like how many years now?
Exactly.
That's a good question.
It'll come back eventually when I have time.
Yeah. All right. So, before we get too far ahead, we got a lot of news. For those that may not have noticed, I was sick last week when I did that Transformers video, and I'm surprised the audio came out as clean as it was.
Honestly, I'll say this: I couldn't tell. Honestly.
Yeah, it came out much cleaner than I thought. Considering I was like hacking it up and coughing and had no voice.
Look, you didn't sound like your 2015 era. Was it
2015? Yeah,
era self.
I felt like my 2015 era. I'm glad everybody liked the intro that hadn't seen it last week. That is our new 15th anniversary intro that Ryan made, which was pretty cool. So, thank you for that. And on that note, let's run down everybody in our voice chat because
text
chat.
Chat.
Just because I'm better doesn't mean I'm not still a little sick.
Yeah, Sonic Super Speed Simulator edits. Master Ben, Zeltrex, Jojo Star, Kaiju 1954, SA4 Jason, Silver Bricks, Infinity War Tom, Muteki T, Spin Dash, Red Ranger Christian, Jeremy Carr, True Hellfire, MJ Klein, Jamie Squirrel, Mr. Tanuki, and Small Dreams. Welcome, everybody.
Welcome. Thank you, Silver Bricks, for watching my Star Trek retrospective for a third time. That makes me happy because I did a lot on that.
Small Dreams. Any thoughts on the possibility of King Ultra's final also being added into feature length cut? Personally, I don't think it's happening, but bring back Director Toko recut would be funny.
I think it could happen because of how much money they put into King Ultra's finale arc.
Question. Is it like I'm not sure the episode air, but is it like how Blazer finale? There's definitely stuff cut because of time.
No, they're definitely. I don't think there was stuff cut per se because they're doing a 3-part finale, and we still haven't seen part 3.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
No, it was like we were like the third episode to the end, and they suddenly like went into anamorphic widescreen and like cinematic to the lighting, and I was just like, "What are we doing? This is great."
I seen clips of it. It's like that looks cool, man. I could tell the budget's also dying.
Yeah, I mean they were just pumping everything into it. I think because I know it was like trending in Japan because Deca Green's actor like said, "Hey, why isn't this like?" Can this get recut and put out as a movie? I think they should do it. I mean, what do they have to lose besides making more money? So,
what was that?
Yeah.
What was that comment? Well, I think it was Bandai or Toei made recently.
Oh yeah, there was a comment where like it was either Bandai or Toei. Some like what is it? Bandai's not happy that Toei's not marketing Sentai better and wants to like get into more global distribution, but it's not anything yet because. With Sentai, you can't do global distribution because of TV Asahi not wanting streaming outside Japan, and then you also have Hasbro anywhere outside Asia. So
it's funny they say that, but then you look how well they do their Kamen Rider releases.
I mean, the thing is too is that like we talk about they want to globally expand, yeah, but like they're not really looking at it like anytime soon, and that's why we're still getting weird stuff like we'll talk about. Yeah, it's been tracking a lot in Japan that like King Odra's finale put into a movie would be great. I think it'd be cool. Do we have some other people join the
Sentai?
chat? I want to make sure we got everybody.
Peacemaker, Kyle. I think that's it.
And
Oh,
help.
Swift the Crow.
Yeah.
LPH.
So, anyways, I think where are we going with this? I don't know where my thought process is going.
Where are you going with this?
Where am I going with this?
What happened last week on the channel?
What happened last week on the channel? It's the channel. Look at it. It's looks the same as it's looked for years because YouTube took away all our customization features. I was looking at I was way back machining some YouTube channels, and I was like, man, we used to have a lot more customization options. Like I could change the color of the background and stuff. Miss it, but anyways, so last week on the channel we had a Sonic review, which was just catching up with Six Figures.
Just to see people excited to see more Sonic content back again.
The comment section was excited that I finally did a Sonic video after 8 months.
I would say, funny enough, the same day you released that video, I was rewatching the Jazzware retrospective video we did, and I also say that is my proudest work I've ever done for the channel. That is a project I am super proud of.
I wish I could put that. I wish I could put that up on the screen, but it's going to take too long for it to pull up.
Yeah, no, yeah, definitely.
But yeah, the Jazzware Sonic video is
I put a lot
still so good.
I put a lot of love and effort into that with storyboarding animation with my friend Owen, the research, the everything. I'm super even though I totally guess I work on the Legacy video. I'm more proud. I'm more proud.
The Jazzware's video is like 90% Ryan and 10% me filling in the gaps. Like legitimately, that's how that video is. It's like it's more your video than mine, but like that's totally cool because like I filled in the gaps around it. So yeah,
no, it's one of the things where it's like that's gonna be forever. Like it's weird to me, that it's like that video's like 2 years old now. I was like, oh god,
yeah, it's up there. Yeah. Let's see. Mutaki says, "Do you guys consider collecting Sonic figures harder than any other line?" For me, living in the Southwest, yes. 100%. It's the hardest line for me to collect.
It's getting a lot better now, thanks to Jack's putting their stuff on.
I mean, also case in point, 5 of those 6 figures I got in the last 2 weeks. So
it's still not easy because poor goddamn Mephiles always gets sold out instantly. But like, it's definitely getting.
Mephiles keeps selling out about 4 hours before I wake up.
That's the problem.
Yeah. Red Ranger Christian asks, "What did we think of the Toku Awards?" I don't think any of us watched the Toku Awards.
There were the Toku Awards?
Wait, what are the Toku Awards?
It was another content creator on YouTube that did a thing called the Toku Awards. I heard about it and then I just didn't watch it. I just forgot about it.
I mean, that's cool. That's cool to hear.
Charmy B. Yeah, Muteki mentions Charmy B. I'm kind of like, I was doing some research. Charmy is canonically the same height as Cream the Rabbit. So, like, where's our 4-inch Charmy?
4-inch, yeah.
Can we just get a 4-inch instead of a 2? I don't want to buy the 2.5-inch anymore. I want a 4-inch Charmy.
It's so weird that like they haven't released him yet in the checkout Walmart line. Like they released every other figure besides like I think Supersonic. So
but like Charmy's the only one they haven't re-released.
Rouge is surprisingly very common for a 2-inch figure. I thought it'd be really hard to find that, but no, she's pretty common because
she was packed in 2 waves, right?
Yeah, and they just re-released her recently with the Vector and Caterpillar wave recently.
I'm not planning to get any of the Sonic Lego sets just because of the prices. I had
for me it's space.
Yeah, I mean it's also space, but like I was thinking of getting some of the smaller ones. But like I looked at all the Sonic Lego when I had rewards credit to spend at a store, and I bought Tekken 8. So it's just how it goes. Anyways, the other video, which I think a lot of people did watch, is this Transformers Legacy Evolution rundown, which popped off. It popped off faster than last year's, which is great. The runtime, because I saw people mention how surprised how short it was. Yeah, it was a little bit like I said in the beginning, I don't really have time to cover studio series. That's production time, not video time. Because I didn't know the video was going to be this short, to be honest. I was kind of surprised. It takes forever to film Transformers stuff. It just takes twice as long as any other line. It's just inevitable.
Transformers as the brand came out with a lot of figures as like Marvel Legends. It's specifically Legacy Evolution, so it's not as much figures. So
there was a lot of repacks and repaints. Yeah, a lot of repacks. And there was that whole Walmart G2 line, all the cores that I skipped. Like the core segment was like 45 seconds because I was just like, and here's who they are, and then I moved on. And that was also because I was sick and I didn't really want to talk longer than that. It was just But I think
Oh.
it turned out nice and snappy. It was nice for a rundown to be that short, I'll tell you. It was
If
great.
you had to estimate, how long would the classified rundown be?
Classified rundown is 73 figures, of which I own 67 of them, of which one of those is a tank. Probably back to the normal 45-minute to an hour runtime.
Honestly, it might be like.
Then again, there's a lot
but
of repaints, so
Yeah.
those will be quicker to talk about. But
Kidding,
it's still the same production time. If it's a brand new figure or a repaint, it's still the same production time. It's just when I go to edit, it'll be shorter.
I see this being the same length as the Marvel Legends one than the Lightning one because
Yeah,
because classified figures have a lot more things going on to them.
that's
than
true.
can-
I'm hoping it's not 52 minutes like Marvel, because I think the runtime has hurt the Marvel rundown the last couple years. They aren't performing as well as the
Well,
other
they didn't
rundowns,
run-
and I think it's the length.
well,
I think it's the length. If they were shorter, people would be like, "Oh, okay, I'm not that into Marvel Legends
Well-
anymore, but I'll go watch 30 minutes."
Is it also you say that, but you think it's either the length or also just the Marvel brand in general not doing as well as it used to be?
Last year, the
Yeah,
Marvel brand was much healthier than this year, and last year's video did worse than this year's. So I don't know, but I'm gonna keep up with it. But like, if Marvel Legends starts pushing, 200 figures, like if they keep getting more and more, I might have to just stop at some point. My current rule is that I only include repacks if they have new packaging. Like, I won't include they're reissuing like a couple Deadpool figures, but in the same packaging. Like, those aren't part of the rundown. I might start cutting any figures that are repacks, even if their packaging's different, just to cut the length a little bit. It's getting a little insane. Same with just as a forethought into Legacy United. Anything that's a repack, if it's that the figure's not different, I'm not covering it. It's just it's just pointless work time.
For example, like the modern Moon Knight will not be counted, but that Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man will be counted because there is a difference. I'm assuming.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking they're gonna do. Daniel Falconer mentions about Hasbro's massively cutting their production. We're gonna talk about that as well during the stream. But this channel stuff wise, rundowns are gonna be a little different next year. Because I've already started filming for Legacy United. I'm just gonna start filming stuff as they come in. But yeah, rundowns are gonna evolve a little bit with the way that Hasbro does things, and I don't know what'll happen in terms of like next year's rundowns. I might just make 3. I'm not really rushing to replace the Power Rangers one.
Lightning's gone, so
yeah, I'm not really at the moment rushing to replace Lightning in the rundown lineup. So it may just be 3 next year, and that's fine because that's just less. These things are massive production stuff, which is why for those wondering when GI Joe is coming, it's going to be like
next month.
Next month.
It'll be the March big video for March.
There's going to be like inexplicably there's going to be like 3 big videos in March just because of timing. But it'll work out. Jeremy Carr would like it, and I would like it if you guys hit the like button. That'd be great.
Help the stream out there, people.
Help the stream out there. So yeah, we'll
and if you don't like it, Jerry will come to your house
and teach you Tekken 8.
Yes, and he's a relentless teacher. He will get you. He will get you.
If he doesn't teach you Tekken 8, he will
I need to teach. I need to teach you more. Like
yes.
Now I need to teach you how to actually play the game.
Next time, Gary train Sound he mails him a turtle shell with crayon milk to train him.
Yes.
Let's start running.
I like Master Man. Sound Marvel Legends 24 rundown 78 minutes.
I mean, it's possible. We'll see how the Marvel thing shakes out. All right, we'll go with that. All right, Transformers PSA. Omega Prime has crossed the 13,000 mark, so the giant sword has been unlocked. Where's the giant sword? Oh wait, that's not in the main pictures.
If you have no room to store, use it as your own weapon.
Yes. There you go. There's that. So Silver Bricks liked the stream before it was live, so there's no need to come to my house. Silver Bricks, you're awesome. But yeah, we
come to your house anyways now.
Unless you want Jerry to come to your house and teach you Tekken, like it just won't be forcibly. But you got to pay him. He's a master Roshi. You got to bribe him.
I must say, instead of dirty magazines, what do you bribe Jerry with?
a good question.
That's a good question. We'll have to figure that out later.
Let's see.
Anyways, this is on its way to crossing the 16,000 goal to get the.
It only has 24 days left. My God.
Yep.
There's a
So
blade in my pants.
we'll see how it goes. Kyle says, "Do you think this is big enough for Dano Tajin to hold it?" Yeah, totally.
Does Daniel touch it? Yeah,
You backed this, right, Soundout?
I did.
I did.
I have.
So it sounds.
I have. At the moment, I have figured out the money. At the moment.
Did you weigh mafia boss to get your money?
No, but I did murder some GI Joes. I canceled some GI Joe pre-orders, and I canceled.
You take it. Santa turns around, and you see the GI Joe sticker fall off his back. You secret Cobra member all this time.
It's very likely because it's funny. I canceled
and I'm still trying to
everything.
figure out how I'm gonna get mine.
I canceled everything except for the Techno Viper. So. Yeah, no, Wheels, you're trying to figure out how to get one, right?
Yeah, because I'm trying to sell stuff on Twitter because Facebook wants money and eBay wants money, and I'm like, hopefully some people want my stuff that's on Twitter.
Guys, go hit up Wheels on Twitter and buy his stuff.
I don't have a lot right. I don't have a lot right now. I don't have a lot right now, but I do have some stuff I found that like I don't really need anymore. So it's like something that would at least ease the pain.
Plus,
Ben also said, "Oh yeah, I owe you a birthday gift," and I'm like, "Thanks, Ben, but let's see if I can get the money first."
Yeah.
Reading some chat questions. Jimmy's World. Any reason why Bandai or Good Smile Company doesn't release Sonic figures, considering they release Star Wars figures or pop?
Good Smile does Nindoroids.
Yeah, but because Jack Blizzard has the Master Toy license, that's why.
Yeah.
It also just helps that Sonic's a more popular brand in the US.
Yeah, Japan. Yeah, Sonic is way more popular here than in Japan.
So so that's why you there's much more American-made Sonic stuff in Japanese. See, so
to the extent the Japanese laugh at us for liking Sonic.
It's true, but they made Sonic to be an American type character, like he was America in the '90s personified. So it was intentional.
Small Dreams. It's interesting that things labeled as Legacy was probably coming out of and well, it's interesting because they don't put like the Legacy Evolution logo and Dev Stars. It just Legacy is just a brand, like how War for Cybertron. Because wasn't
War for Cybertron was like the branding for Unicron and stuff. I do think that they have changed the names before because like I remember when Victory Saber went up, he was Transformers Generations Victory Saber, and then when he came out, he was Transformers Legacy Victory Saber.
I mean, you remember, Generations is just the brand of the Chug figures. It's not, so it's...
Generations includes Studio Series. Someone asked me, why don't you do all Generations? And I was like, I can't, because that includes Studio Series.
Does it? Because I've never seen the Generations logo on those boxes. I need to check again.
Let me pull up a Studio Series box, because I just noticed one. And it's funny, because you won't even realize that it's a... that it is a Generations logo because of how it is. Let's see, where is he at? Hey, dear Google, stop showing me images as product pages. Thank you very much. I just want a picture. Okay? I'm on Google Images, not Google Shopping. All right.
Gotta love it. Hellfire.
Anyways, boom, check it out right here. You see this Autobot logo? On this bit.
Yeah, right.
That's the Generations logo. So,
let's see.
Studio Series is Generations.
Hellfire. I'm tapping Omega Prime to my taping Omega Prime to my ceiling because I had no shelf space.
Yeah.
That's one way.
That's one solution.
Jamie Carr, has the Tekken 8 controls changed much since Tag Tournament? Because this was the last one I played.
Not really, right, Jerry? It's still the same 4-button system.
It's still 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jamie's World is for Omega Prime. Is it shipped internationally or US? I think it's only UK and Europe and US for the Hasbro Pulse.
Yeah,
site.
For the Hasbro Pulse. Yeah, outside if your country doesn't have a Hasbro Pulse site, you have to look and see if there's a retailer carrying it.
Yeah. Kyle asks, is the helicopter safe?
Yeah, the helicopter's safe. I already paid for it.
Yeah, you already paid for it. So the
anything that's already paid for is like just locked. I keep forgetting the Ultra Replica Evolt Thruster is coming out next month because I paid for it. I'm just like, I'll just show up. If I don't have to worry about paying for it, I kind of forget when things come out, to be honest.
As for Jay, I only know how to play NK. I don't need to know another fighting game. Well, Kals, will you explain in a simple term how Tekken works in the most basic no man's term, like basic man terms.
They have the same basic 4 buttons.
Yeah, the only thing that they added was the rage art and the special style. If you really want to,
But yeah,
not learn anything.
Mortal Kombat started with the right punch, left punch.
Mortal Kombat
thing.
also uses 1, 2, 3, 4. By the way, like Tekken.
So
I forget. Does Mortal Kombat still have the block button, or did it still have its own block button?
Oh yeah, the dedicated
Yeah.
block button does it.
Yep,
Yeah.
it still does, because that's how you do
you
do EX moves. That's
That
not the
always weirds
term, but
me out.
whatever.
I always weird me out playing Mortal
That's
Kombat.
basically what they are.
Let's see.
Oh, Hellfire says Soundout bought a boat in Target 2K20 or Target 20. Anyways, I went to Target and bought a boat. Yes, this is a true fact.
You bought a boat,
and I built the boat because I had to build it by hand. And Hellfire didn't know the context. I just told him I bought a boat, and he's like, "It's funnier if I just don't know the context." But anyways, here's my boat. It's called the Thousand Sunny. And it's
Sally, it's too small to fit any of the anime heroes or figures on it.
Yes, I think it can. It's actually smaller than 1 to 144 scale. Like it is tiny.
What, 1 to 1,000 or something like that.
Probably like 1 to 500. I mean, it's small, but like I love it, and it was $20 at Target, and I'm like, okay, I'm happy because I was reading the One Piece manga, and I was like, man, the Thousand Sunny is so cool. I wish I could buy like a model kit of it. Well, here it is. It also has 2 bases. Like this is the base with like the water flare effect, and then you can like put the normal boat bottom on it. But I like it on the water.
Rich Nuki, did Tekken 8 bring back my favorite anime DLC fighter Negan? So far, no.
So far, no. Plot twist all the Tekken 8. Welcome, Soul Man. Plot twist all the Tekken 8 guest characters are Walking Dead characters. We're just gonna get Norman Reedus and Denai Guerrera in the next pass.
Here's the
Hideo Kojima would get mad at that one, I guess. He'd be like, "Hey, I had Reedus first."
Reedus is mine.
With the Here's with the Joe helicopter. Can you put the Tekken, like your Game Dimension figures in the helicopter, the GI Joe helicopter?
Most likely, yeah. I mean, it's a 6-inch scale helicopter.
So you can recreate all the Tekken endings then?
Yes.
Was it Tekken 2 with Hayachi on the helicopter flying away from the exploding volcano?
Yeah, it was 2 where he chucks Kazuya in the book. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Next news item. There's a Marvel Legends fan stream tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern. I'm not sure if I'm getting up early for it or not, but you know.
You think it's
gonna be even earlier for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
You think it's gonna be Deadpool related?
Nope. They already confirmed no MCU stuff, which is
it's
understandable. Marvel hasn't even officially shown us Wolverine yet. I mean, what is there to show? One Deadpool.
Deadpool Wolverine is the next MCU film, right?
It's the only MCU movie this year.
Oh yeah, because everything else has been pushed back by strikes.
Yep, and probably also making Captain America a good movie. Yeah. Anyways, that's a thing. All right. So you want to read some chat stuff while I prep our next news story called "We're going to talk about list pricing more than I think I ever wanted to."
Let's see. As if to go, I bought a boat.
Yeah, basically that's what I felt like. I bought a boat and I bought a Megan because I bought the Toonie Terrors Megan.
Actually, for Jason, should Bandai do monster arts of the tail beast from Naruto? Oh god, they will be huge then.
They'd be huge, and I'd totally at least buy Kurama.
Kurama?
Yeah.
Okay. What was the Santanuki again?
Shikaku?
Oh yeah, I might get that one because I have so much nostalgia for that arc and the boss fights in all the video games of that thing.
Would you like to
just
know
like
something?
Kaiju?
Also like Kaiju.
Would you like to know something, Ryan? That'll shatter your mind.
What?
It wasn't even one of the tailed beasts to begin with.
Yeah, it wasn't, right?
That was a retcon.
That was a retcon. Yep.
Yeah.
Because I read the manga, and when I read it, I was like, "Hey, what? This supposed to be the spirit of a dead monk or something?" That originally.
Yeah, they retconned the whole tail beast thing because, I think Kishimoto was like, "I have a 1 and a 9. I should fill that in."
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, there was a couple Jinchuriki that are like anime only because they just didn't have time in the manga.
Is there any anime only Akatsuki?
I think so. Yeah, I think there's a few. I'm in.
I don't remember, but I want to say yeah.
I want to say yeah. I'm in the fourth Great Ninja War right now, where anime canon and manga canon are just mixing together like cream and potatoes.
You're already ahead of me.
Welcome, Rob Pollock.
Master Van asks, "Do guys have another Black Series? You think they'll do another Haslab?
There's never going to be another
after
Haslab for Black Series. You fail twice, it's done. I'm like that's it.
I mean, the Ghost. I mean, how well did the Ghost do? Like, I know it funded, but like,
No, the
how
Ghost
well
did. The Ghost did really well. Like the vintage collection ones just do better. And
Is there any
yeah.
distinct reason why those do better?
Because it's a larger, older installed fan base, and they're better products worth the value of their price.
Yeah.
Kind of like vintage collection itself versus Black Series. Now thinking about it.
Well, I forget. Wasn't the main reason why the Renko didn't fun? Because didn't they like swap the back? Was it either the tiers, the backer tiers were awful, or was
all the tiers were awful? It didn't come with any accessories in the base package, and there wasn't going to be a Rancor Keeper until people bullied Hasbro into it.
What was it? Yeah, it was like what Luke with a bone, like
Yep.
chains and something like
and
that.
a cardboard backdrop.
A cardboard backdrop, not a plastic one.
All right, let's get to the. I don't want to say it's the biggest news topic of the day, but it's something that people have been continually talking about. I just wanted to put this up front because I knew people were waiting for this. Let's just do it. It's the Geats Blu-ray time. Okay, let's talk about Kamen Geats' Blu-ray. Boom! Look at our fancy title cards, guys. I prepped them in advance.
Woo!
Woo! They're gradient colored.
Fancy.
Yes. So after it leaked, like literally everywhere,
multiple times.
Shout Factory has officially announced Kamen Geats complete series on Blu-ray. There was a lot of discussion about this over the weekend, and
streaming also.
And streaming. We'll talk about that in a moment. And at the end of the day, the biggest thing that kept coming up for people was this list price. Okay? I know when the first listing that went up, I have them all here, was Barnes & Noble, and it was $99.99 US. And several people were like, "Oh, Barnes & Noble's upcharging." And I said this so many times this weekend.
List price.
Barnes & Noble doesn't upcharge anything. It looks like upcharging because they charge more for Blu-rays than any other place because they sell at list price. The home video market has always said list price as an example as a high tier, and then everybody's supposed to reduce 20 to 30% to be competitive. Barnes & Noble's a bookseller, so they're just going to sell on cover price, which is, in the case for home video, list price.
Yeah, that's what they do because it doesn't help that all the books have their price usually on the book itself.
Mm-hmm. Also, welcome Ronan, Common Spidey, and Will. Because those people were like Geats, and then popped in the chat. So this was the first listing to go up, and if you have a Barnes & Noble membership, you can get it for $90, which is the same if you buy it from Crunchyroll store, who's also selling it for $90, or for $85 if you get if you have the Crunchyroll Premium. Walmart currently has it listed at $99.98. They did have it as low as $81.98 at one point, and currently Amazon still has it at $99.98. So for everybody saying Barnes & Noble is upcharging, this is just how Barnes & Noble does business. It won't come down on Barnes & Noble until after it comes out and they maybe do a sale. Okay? It will probably come down on Amazon because they tend to drop the price. Unless it's Gal Ranger where they drop the price a whole 3 cents before release. Crunchyroll store is already down a bit, but they do stuff here. Walmart will probably drop it. Shout is currently selling it for $79.98, and if you are one of the next 35 people to order, you'll get a poster. I don't want the poster, but
with bad shipping, probably.
Yeah, the shipping's been an issue. Here's what the poster looks like. This is the cover art, essentially. It is one of the posters from the Japanese show. It's not the main poster, because the main poster doesn't have all this text on it. Yeah.
So it's, I see people discuss, I think pretty much Toei only gives Shout just one asset. Like, pretty much, because they didn't bother to give them a clean version of that poster. Because everything that exists out there.
And then the cover is just basically that. Now, let's talk about... there's cleaner versions of this poster that exist. I saw a bunch of people do their own mock-ups of the cover. That's just how it goes. Um,
So did Toei make
the
that
logo is baffling because there is an English logo for Geats in Southeast Asia, but guess that's just not available to shout. And you know what? With the way Toei approves things and the way that Toei like sends people in a circle, this is likely out of Shout Factory's hands, if we're being honest, okay?
No, yeah, no, it definitely is. But it's kind of baffling. Toei does not give Shout any assets at all.
Probably not.
or make.
I mean,
or
their
make
Deca
your
Ranger
own.
set, they had to use an SPD image. So,
Because like,
yeah.
what are the Milk Creek Ultraman sets? Do Subaraya make those?
Subaraya provides those graphics to Mill Creek.
Yeah, so like, here shows which ones care for localizing yourself versus people who just do it like, have it,
Yep.
toss it.
Welcome, Green Ranger. The other thing is, it is Japanese, it is English subtitles, it is just the series. Just the 49 episodes. Alright, now if you're wanting to watch the show, it is now available on the Tokusatsu platforms except for Tubi. Tubi will be getting it April 1st. But it is available. You can start watching it on Pluto and Twitch and Retro Crutch and Plex and Sling, the stuff where you can watch the Shout Factory TV stuff. Tokugami on Twitter pointed out that they're using the TV Masters. Fort Max specified that she's the one that was doing the encoding for it, and that they are 1080p 24 frames per second, which means there's not the interlacing problem that happened with 01 where they had to de-interlace the footage because it was 30 frames 1080i, and they had to make it look as close to 1080p 24 frames. But they are the broadcast masters, not the Blu-ray masters, so you still get extra text and commercial bumper things where you wouldn't on the Blu-ray in Japan.
And the Don Brothers.
And yeah, you get the Don Brothers promo for some reason has been playing with stuff. It's funny how promos can be licensed without problems because they're technically commercials. Right? But anyways, the good news is that while they are broadcast masters as opposed to home video masters, they are 1080p. So this is a bit better picture quality than 01. And we have not heard any confirmation on whether this will be soft subbed or hard subbed, because 01 had hard-coded subs, couldn't be turned off. All the others have had soft subs. But because the series wrapped up like 6 months ago in Japan, and the Blu-rays wrapped up in Japan like 2 months ago, it's very likely there's going to be hard subbed if I was making a guess. Because Toei...
especially with the prices on the Japanese
Yes.
Blu-rays.
Because for those that aren't aware, the Japanese home video market is still very rental-based, and therefore if you want to own something, it's going to be several $100s. Now, it's a different economy, different market, they're used to that sort of thing. So when you look at an American release versus a Japanese release, yes, the American release will look much less expensive in comparison. Of course it will. However, it's also good to remember what the American market is that it's releasing into. And that's the thing I want to talk about, is that, yes, I think that the reason why this is a $100 list price where the previous Kamen Rider $60 list price is because the show just ended in Japan and it's super fresh. However, I think that the $100 list price is actually ridiculous for a Kamen Rider show. Like, and this is no shade to Kamen Rider, but like, this is not a good price value for the American Blu-ray market for a show, even as recent as it is.
Over here, yeah.
Especially with broadcast master,
even without the movie.
Especially without a movie, especially without broadcast masters. Yes, exactly.
Well, so here's the thing: if the price is that expensive because it just ended, what was the gap between 01 versus Blu-ray release versus this? Because I know that
I'm trying to remember. Let me go find that out real quick.
Because it's one of the things where it's like Geats ended, well, what, 3 months ago, 4 months ago?
It ended in September, or August, which was like 6 months ago, roughly.
6 months ago. So there's a 6 months gap. So it makes it curious, what was the gap between 01 and its Blu-ray, Shout Blu-ray then? Because if that also is 6 months, and that's some weird, like, then I raise a bigger eyebrow.
Yeah, let's find out, because I should have researched this earlier. So 01 ended. Oh, here we go. I got it. So,
this is to answer Jamie's world question.
Yeah.
Hard subs and soft subs. Hard subs are encoded to the video. You cannot turn them off. Versus soft sub where you can't turn them off.
All right. So 01 finished August 30th, 2020, and it released January 25th, 2022.
So there's a gap.
It was like a year plus, and that got to include it. Got to include its summer movie, and it was the nice $60. The $60 price.
So at least it was a more bigger gap compared to Geats.
And so the thing is, and this is me, armchair license negotiator, because I don't know the deal they got. You know, we don't. Obviously,
Zalchuk mentioned that the Geats we just released in Blu-ray in November, so
Yeah.
there might be it probably was not.
It wasn't
allowed to
ready for it.
be-
Yeah. This
Yeah.
is my thought process, and this is just my personal opinion thing. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, and I don't want to try to like speculate that. But if I was told that this was going to have, if I was looking at the price of the show and it was going to have to be $100 list price and you couldn't have a movie, I'd wait to license it. I'd wait till like you could put at least the movie in with it, because
I have a weird theory they pushed for it because of the toys being on P Bandai.
I mean, here's the thing: Toei could have pushed for it, but then Toei should offer a discount. You know,
I think it's
Exactly.
that's
I
the
think
thing I'm having a problem with this is that we've gone so long since the last we've gone so long
Blu-ray.
since the last Blu-ray, and the first Blu-ray we get is an $80 one. It's 20 it's like $30 more than the others on average, and it has less material than all the others.
I think I think it's one of those there's no winning scenario because I think if Shout Factory say did wait for the price to go down, I think you still get those antsy people going, "Where's the next Rider Blu-ray? Where's the next Rider
Right.
Blu-ray?" Then they get,
My question
they-
is
they-
how could they not? And this is also on question of Toei as well. Why can't we get literally any other writer show?
And the
like
problem
that's
is-
the thing that I'm kind of like confused about is why the next show we're jumping to is the most recent one. Like there's a
It's the
lot
one
of
they
other
push.
shows in
It's
between.
probably the one. It's probably the one they want to push because Geats did very well. Like it did like
Yeah,
super well.
I mean, it
So,
did
like,
very well. It's like I think the third best performing writer show of the modern era.
Yeah. So
Yeah. I agree with Spin Dash here. It would have been good for Shout to announce this with a mild tease down the line, imply that the movie or something else is coming in the summer. Yeah, or like announce the show for streaming and then the Blu-ray would be coming later with a movie. Because it just, as a product, this doesn't feel worth it the way that the others
I think
are.
I think someone make a comment on Twitter I saw
Mm.
where the problem with these writers this set especially because I feel like with 01 and Kuga and Ryugi they're like now $30 on like Amazon so they're better now but like
Yeah.
I think the problem is that the quality of these sets are the same as like Milk Creek's Ultraman sets, but the problem is those are 20.
I will
practically.
say the subs on Shout Factory sets are better timed for the
They're-
Kamen Riders.
They're definitely better, but still, it
But
just,
not like much better, yeah.
Yeah, again, the Milk Creek sets, while they have their flaws, they're still like good sets in terms of their
Yeah.
value.
They have
Versus
great
this-
value, yeah, especially.
For this, like, here's the thing: if this was because if this was a Discotek release, it'll definitely be around this price, but a lot more higher quality. Like even if they had the same restrictions.
I think that's kind of the
as
thing we're
Shout.
looking at. Like let's do some apples to oranges or some oranges to oranges comparisons. Discotek's Kamen Rider Black Blu-ray had a list price of $80 and it sells for about $60 on Crunchyroll store, right? And you can get it for about between $50 and $60. That was only 51 episodes and no movies, but it also came with a whack of bonus features. You got like interviews, you got galleries, you got essays. So you're like, okay, I'm paying more
And
for
the
one of these.
And
And the subtitles
subtitle,
are really high quality. You're paying more for a Discotek Writer Blu-ray than a Shout one for the same number of episodes. But the Discotek stuff does have more features to it. And so, but then again, even as more expensive as it is, and yes, they do have English logos. Good point, Spin Dash. But even as it is, $20 more gets you less stuff still with Geats. And I think Toei is the Toei licensing fees are a little bit overcompensating for how popular this franchise is outside of Asia.
It helps that the overall presentation on Discotek releases is just much better because like then like Discotek have unique art for each disc, then they have like unique art for each menu for each disc, right?
Yeah, that is also the difference between Discotek being a very small company and Shout Factory being a larger company. The smaller the company, the more passion that can go into each release, essentially.
Yeah, versus this is probably the same image.
With that current purchase, they're going to be putting prices up even further now.
What I'm concerned about is that, yeah, like you said with price being up, I am concerned that this isn't just a one-off occasion. Like, what if we get the next writer show and say it's something like, oh, instead of, so the next show we get is like Double, but Double's also $100 because it's popular. Oh, but then they license like Hibiki, and Hibiki's not as popular, so it's the normal price. Or Hibiki is the higher price because we don't want to make that product look like it's not worth the same value.
Do you want to say the thing you were told about a certain series?
Imagine they release Decade at $100, and it's just the 25 episodes and maybe one of the movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say this. I have heard that there was a show that Shout had wanted to license a Kamen Rider that was one of the less popular ones according to the popularity charts in Japan and the sales charts of the toy lines. That's kind of what Bandai and Toei used for popularity, like what sold the best, right? One of the less popular shows was still $12.5 million to license.
Yeah.
And I don't know why that is.
Is that just for the show? Is that just for the show? No
That's
movies, internet?
That's just for the show. Movies are separate licenses, and that was the case even when like Saban was licensing footage for Power Rangers. It's the amount that is spent to license these shows is a lot, and so like I don't blame Shout for pricing this high. I blame Toei for pricing. I won't say the show because I don't want to give too many details and make it trackable. But the thing is that these shows, Toei is pricing these shows like they're golden goose egg, which, you know, for a lot of reasons, for a lot of intents and purposes, Kamen Rider is the goose egg of Toei's Tokusatsu division.
I was saying it's still lower than most of their anime.
Still lower than most of their anime. But, you know, if you go look at the prices of, like, if you want, say you want 50 episodes of One Piece on Blu-ray, and DVD, 50 episodes of One Piece is about $100. But that's also dubbed and has bonus features. And you get a Blu-ray DVD combo pack, because that's how Crunchyroll still does the things that Funimation was doing. So
I bring up another licensing issue that came up years ago.
Mm.
Right, Soundout? Let's mention this. All right. So guys, this is not Toei. This is not a Toei show, but this is still a Tokusatsu.
Yep.
It's technically a show that you would think would want to have a cheaper license for its property to be brought over to North America. Well, back in the day, Funimation put out an offer to TFCC for Garo. Now, this is when they first announced the first Garo anime, I believe, and the first Garo anime ended and the second anime was coming out. And this is when Funimation was still doing live action, like, movies on the side. Like, I think they still are, but it wasn't but it started dying down. It started getting, you know, not as popular with Funimation to throw out, you know, a movie or a small series here and there that was like an action drama, right? And they approached TFCC for allegedly the entire Garo library at the time. So this would have been up at least to the first anime or two to dub the anime as well as the Tokusatsu. The TFCC said, if you want, like, they were like, I think they said, like, it's still lesser, I think, than I think Sounded said for just a writer show, but they said that they wanted, like, $500,000 to $1 million for, like, all of Garo at that point. Because they were like, if you're gonna dub it, it has to be, like, refundable or something. They wanted, like, the money in advance just in case it shit the bed. Because they didn't think the Tokusatsu needed to be dubbed, but the anime did at the time. They're like, no, you shouldn't dub the Tokusatsu. Even though they're like, well, a lot of people who watch Tokusatsu say all the time that they're dyslexic. Not everyone in the community is, but they do bring up the thing of, I have a learning disability. So I might not be able to keep up with the subtitles. So that's why Funimation was very heavy on wanting to dub it. And the reason they ended up only picking up the anime at the time was because they were able to at least get a better deal. Because they said, if you're taking the live action and you're going to dub it, then we want money in advance because we don't think it's going to do that good.
So taking all this info together and looking at the price that we have with Geats here, I think it's very clear why we haven't had any Rider Shout news in forever. Because Shout, again, as a larger business, is probably looking at, are we actually making any money off Kamen Rider? Right? Because, like, if it's going to be costing this much to release a show, or this much to license it, you have to make that money back, or else it's not really a worthy business investment.
And Toei refuses to make a franchise deal.
Yeah, Toei refuses to make a franchise deal. You know, or here's another thought too. I haven't thought about this. Is like Toei doesn't want to partner, but what if Toei wants to do a franchise deal with somebody, but nobody can afford it?
That too.
So then adding to this, like a couple comments mentioned, you know, Jeremy Carr wants to know, you know, why they didn't release a Blu-ray Kamen Rider in 1971. The original Kamen Rider is 98 episodes.
98 episodes.
That is like a 16, 17 disc release, and we're looking at 8 discs of a recent show being $100. Like, they're probably not super confident it's going to do well because the older...
Also, as much as we love it, it is a show from the 70s.
It is a show from the 70s. And I think streaming numbers-wise, they probably looked at that show as not done as well as the others. I don't know that for sure, There's like no
As
way to
much-
know, but I wonder if the original writer doesn't have as much streaming viewership as the Heisei shows have.
Like, as much as I love Kamen Rider, that shows me a shoestring budget, like shoestring,
Less
like,
than a shoestring budget.
budget.
It's a
Yeah,
great show,
so,
but like it's a hard sell for people, and being 98 episodes, it's an even harder sell. Other thing, WG Phil asked if it's due to residuals for actors for the license. Nope, because the Japanese entertainment industry is worse than Hollywood at paying people. So definitely not a case.
Who's Digimon's going off and hearing people move noises?
Oh, that's my Vital bracelet. It finally kicked over the adventure mode. But anyways, yeah. The more discs you do, the more expensive it costs to produce, and even though they've licensed it, it may not just be worth it to them.
Taser, I don't think Discotek has the license to any of the modern stuff. They might have the license for some of the Showa era stuff, but as far as we know, I don't think they can touch the Heisei stuff, at the very least, from what we know.
And maybe they picked the Showa stuff because it was cheaper to license.
That too, because I think, let's face it, more eyes are on the Heisei beyond further era stuff than Showa. So that's probably why they can get the Showa stuff, because there's less eyes on it.
Exactly. Welcome, Crossy Hossie. So yeah, we'll have to see how they do it. Kaiju 54 brings up the do a limited release like they're doing with the classic Tokusatsu collection. That might be an option. Like, just do it as a low print run and see if that works.
Do you think but that's the thing also goes to, does Toei want that? Because I don't think Toei wants their show to be limited release.
I don't think Toei wants it for Kamen Rider, but they're totally cool with it for these old movies.
Yeah, for their movies, fine, but for
Kamen Rider, they want all the money. So, another thing, while we transition news topics, because I think it's time. I think we've talked about this enough. As it's been brought up, why not Saber? Why not Revice? All right, so Saber flopped in Japan ratings-wise. Toei may just not want to put it out. Revice has a problem. Okay, first of all, it wasn't popular in Japan and had people like revolting against Toei in forums. Second of all, one of the lead actors is a massive racist. And while they can get away with that in Japan, where it's not highlighted as much, here that would just tank the reputation of everybody involved, and it's absolutely not worth it to even try. It's not worth even bothering with that. So that's how that works. But yeah, you guys got any questions about the Geats stuff?
Plus,
or any things?
They killed Minoru Suzuki in the first episode, so wrestling fans will hate it too.
That's true.
Oh yeah, they did.
Yep.
I got Jay's like, what? I go, I showed you this when it happened.
Remember, never forget, guys.
Perfect.
Never forget that Vice, regardless of Vice's actor, he is designed like blackface Momotaros. Yeah. Anyways,
that's great.
It's great. Are you guys ready for some entertainment news? I think we're ready for some entertainment news.
Yep.
Oh.
All right. We're gonna switch hold on. I gotta turn off Geats. Switch on entertainment news. It's green. Yeah, we need to have like little transition things. All right. So here we go. Star Trek Discovery's final season is coming up. Let me see if I can make this image a little smaller because it's like way too big, and we can't see the bottom part, which is the actual news. Star Trek Discovery's final season is
more blade in my pants.
Is debuting on April 4th. It's going to be airing 2 episodes to start, and then the rest of the season. This is the last ride for the crew of the Discovery, which were essentially like the first new Star Trek show. So yeah, I'm excited. I like Discovery. I gotta admit, season 1 was still my least favorite, but like I warmed up to it a whole lot.
I need a lot of opinion for my scene.
What was that?
I think that's a lot of people's opinions.
Yeah.
Discovery's the first season was rough.
First season was rough.
Season 1 was rough. Season 2 was
I think season two was an improvement. Season 3 was the best season the show's done so far. And then season 4 definitely got wrecked hard by COVID.
That's a weird pattern with Star Trek, where the first season is usually not the greatest.
Yeah, most Star Trek shows get good in season 3. Most. Unless you're Lower Decks or like Prodigy, in which case you just hit it out the gate and you're just running. Will asks, how long has this final season been in development? Sorry, go ahead, Will.
Oh no, I said Prodigy sure went out of the gate right into the canceled bin.
I know, I'm so sad about that. They're still at least getting that season 2. So anyways, Will asked, how long has the season been in development? Felt too long. Yeah, this was shot like a long time ago. They filmed it all.
Galaxy Star.
Then they canceled it. Then they brought everybody back to film an epilogue to be a series finale. And then they've just sat on it because they know that this is the only live-action Star Trek they have filmed right now. Because they started filming Strange New Worlds in Section 31, but those are not coming until next year because of all the post-production time. But because of the strikes, this was the thing they were, like, holding on to. Like, we got to hold on to this. And then now that they got stuff moving, they're like, okay, now we'll put it out. So, yeah, it's been a long time coming. It's the most, like... It's the most growing pains Star Trek show because it was trying to figure out how do we put Star Trek into a streaming world. And I do think that this season I'm looking forward to the most because they said it's not going to be a big, long, serialized into the universe plot like the last few seasons have been. Like they're going on like a treasure hunt and discovering secrets and stuff, and I think that's really fun.
They're finally going to find the One Piece.
They're going to go find the One Piece. Or whatever the Romulan version of the One Piece is. But yeah, I'm excited. It'll be nice to see this final season. About what?
Yeah, I said finding how not to get the planet blown up in the future.
I wonder because like the thing is they keep talking about Romulan stuff and like it's got a secret to the past. I'm like, what if they're actually like finding out why the supernova happened, like 1,000 years after it happened? So. Paul Trax, yeah, that's a good point. It has been a long time getting from there to here. It's funny because I keep describing it as an Indiana Jones adventure, and how much more can you sell me on a Star Trek season than that, right?
I love Spinash. Come.
The Ron piece.
The Ron piece.
The Ron piece. Speaking of wrong piece, wrong time, just kidding. The officially announced on DC, because this was going in rumors a week ago, Marvel and DC have teamed up to reprint their crossovers in 2 omnibuses in August of this year.
Oh, wait, do you mean the amalgam stuff?
Yes.
Yep. Wow.
I don't have the cover images here, but there is going to be 2 omnibuses. There is DC versus Marvel, and there is DC Marvel, the amalgam omnibus. So
what's the line from Winston from Ghostbusters? Cats and dogs living together.
Yes, exactly. So, these haven't been reprinted, like, frickin' ever. They use this image of Spider-Man and Superman to put together. Haven't been reprinted in forever.
Is that story going to be in these omnibuses?
So, here's the thing. I got 2 pieces of news.
An omnibus, it better be.
First of all, they have listed a bunch of titles. Second of all, a bunch are missing. Third of all, I have heard from very good sources these are not final. That they're just trying to get the pre-orders up and get this thing rolling. Because they're not in the DC catalog this month. They're not in this month's, so the contents don't have to be final yet till next month.
Because this is their only chance to get something like this.
Santos Selena asked, do omnibuses of entire Storyx comics sell a lot? They have been selling like crazy lately. Like the omnibus market finally is a market now. It's taken a few years, but like they've actually built it up. And this year's like the year of crazy omnibuses. We're getting Romnibuses and Micronauts and Godzilla, Marvel years and
Romnibuses.
Romnibuses. I don't know why it's not labeled Romnibus like the Venom buses. The Venom ones are called Venomnibuses.
I need to get more. I need to get more omnibuses because I've been eyeing on a lot of them on Amazon because they're more affordable on Amazon for me. So I just need to bite the bullet and buy them eventually.
If you love a comic run, omnibuses are great.
Yeah, I just need to bite. I love the Superman Rebirth run. I just need to bite the bullet and buy it because I want it.
Well, remember, Soundout, you and me were trying to figure out how to do a divorce ownership of Night End and Nightfall until they actually decided to drop those omnibuses on us.
Yep. So these will be published by DC. DC's doing the publishing, probably because Marvel's doing like 40, 50 omnibuses a year, and they're like, DC, you only do like 10. Here, you take care of it. You do the publishing. I thought it was going to be like one would get published by DC, one would be published by Marvel, but like they're both being published by DC, which is not uncommon either, because like the Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong is also published by DC, even though it's like 80% legendary characters. Yeah. Anyways, so the first omnibus currently is listed as having Batman Captain America, Batman Daredevil, Batman Punisher, Batman Spider-Man, Daredevil Batman, DC Special Series 27, which is a crossover. I think it's like the first crossover that they ever did. Darkseid versus Galactus, Green Lantern, Silver Surfer, Incredible Hulk versus Superman, Marvel and DC presenting the Uncanny X-Men and the New Teen Titans, Marvel Treasury Edition 28, Punisher, Batman, Deadly Knights, Silver Surfer, Superman, Spider-Man, Batman, Spider-Man, Superman versus the Amazing Spider-Man, and Superman Fantastic Four. There is some other stuff not here, like JLA Avengers is not here, but again, contents aren't final, so this may be shaping up. Welcome, Super Shaddix Boom. Then with the Amalgam Universe, we got DC vs. Marvel 1-4, All Access 1-4, Unlimited Access 1-4, Bat Thing, Bruce Wayne Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Bullets and Bracelets, Challengers of the Fantastic, Doctor Strange Fate, Iron Lantern, Legends of the Dark Claw, Lobo the Duck, Speed Demon, Spider-Boy, Super Soldier, Thorian and the new Asgods, and X-Patrol. Hopefully others get in there, because that's not all the one-shots. Amalgam Universe, for those unaware, is when DC and Marvel merged their universes for like a month or two.
And everybody did the fusion. Everyone did the fusion dance.
Everyone did the fusion dance. Like the Storm Wonder Woman fusion, Amazon isn't on this. So again, hopefully they get all that added. Licensing can be crazy. It's also crazy seeing a About Marvel section on a DC article, but here we are. So yeah, you guys got thoughts on these besides
I don't know why,
the
but
rad?
the joke should have been the About Marvel.
No, I'm glad they're finally coming out.
Was it About Marvel, their rivals? Or
they should just say they're our rivals.
It should have been like About Distinguished Competition and About Marvelous Competitors.
And then the joke says they're now owned by Disney and they have the better movies than us.
Welcome, Cameron Metter.
Does DC have their own version of the Squadron Supreme for Marvel?
They kind of do, because a lot of the Greek and Norse characters overlap in Wonder Woman stuff.
Because I know, the Squadron Supreme is based on the Justice League, so I wonder, is there a version for that from DC?
I don't think it as blatant as the Squadron Supreme is. Oh, also got to mention they both carry a $150 cover price, and they're both set for release August 6th. So prep your wallets. I pre-ordered them on Amazon. They're up there already. I may not buy them from Amazon because I have other sources, but but I do pre-order them. So they're coming. I know Jerry's excited for these to come back out because we talk about Amalgam stuff a lot.
I'm tempted to get them because it's one of those like these will never come out ever again.
Yeah, this is like our one shot at these. That's for sure. Will's mentioning they have like 3 Ant-Man likes. Yeah, it's the more you like boil down comics history, the more you realize, wow, everybody's just looking at each other's homework over here. Not as bad as Swamp Thing and Man Thing coming out like 14 days apart. Like that one was like, okay, well, somebody was copying their ideas before they made it to print. But yeah, these should be pretty hot sellers. So yeah, you should be able to get a discount. My recommendation, this is like how I do things, pre-order them on Amazon, then check some shops like Cheap Graphic Novels closer to release and see if they're going to be cheaper than your Amazon discount. Because Amazon always give you the lowest discount, but if you pre-order early, then whatever that lower price ends up coming in the next like 6 months until these come out, you'll get that lowest price. I got a She-Hulk omnibus for $50 one time because Amazon just randomly dropped the price for like an hour to $50. So that's how I manage my omnibus collecting. Is I order it at Amazon and then see if the price drops, and then if there's another store I can get it cheaper, I'll just go to that cheaper store.
It always kind of sucks because I do want to get like some omnibuses for the comic shop because I want to help support them, but like they usually are full price, and I can't afford them at the time. Kind of scenario.
I know my comic shop. I don't usually buy omnis from them but they sometimes get older ones that are out of print. I got the She-Hulk Peter David omnibus from them for a pretty good price. It was funny, a day before the X-Men 97 trailer that we're going to talk about later came out, I got the X-Men animated series adaptations omnibus because my comic shop had a copy and it was cheap. So, yeah. All right. In other news, the Fantastic Four have been cast. I mean, that happened like a while ago, but like we're finally hearing about it. And they announced it in the coolest way possible by actually providing us a actual hand-drawn poster.
This poster, if this being the announcement poster, gives you a lot more faith in this movie already. Because this is what I want for Fantastic Four.
See you later, Rob. Thanks for showing up. This is let's see if we can get this
I do
it
love.
was blown
I
up
think
here.
Pedro Pascal was leaked ahead of time by some other actor, and his account got nuked. So
Oh, the
The
director.
dis, yeah,
The director
the
leaked that
director.
Pedro Pascal was, and actually it's because SAG said that Pedro Pascal was going to be Reed Richards, and then Matt Shackman like Instagram posted about it, and then his Instagram account was gone, like it never existed. Like an hour later,
The Disney ninjas got him.
the Feige snipers. So this is done, of course, on Valentine's Day. So the Happy Valentine's Day banner. But we have our 4 cast members, and I love this. I love this so much better than like here's some headshots because I can never see them as the characters, but you can see them in the setting as the characters and get an idea of
That's
the
pretty
tone.
good, yeah.
Yeah, and this also confirms the theory that it takes place in the '60s because Ben's holding a Time magazine from 1963. So that's definitely a thing. So for those that may not recognize them, because I didn't recognize half of them, we got Pedro Pascal as Mr. Fantastic, Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm, which I heard about that in the rumor mill months ago, and I was like, I hope that's true, because I love Vanessa Kirby, and it's true, and I'm very happy. Joseph
I don't
Quinn
even
as
know who
Johnny
the hell she
Storm.
is.
What was that, Wills?
I don't even know who the hell she is.
Well, watch more British shows. Anyways, Joseph Quinn is Human Torch. I don't know
him because
I
he
don't
was
know
in
Joseph
Stranger
Quinn.
I know him because he was in
him
Stranger
either.
Things, the recently season of Stranger Things. Honestly, he was
Yeah.
the perfect cast choice as Johnny, as seeing his role in Stranger Things.
Cool. And then Ebon Moss Bachrach as the Thing, and I've watched enough clips of the bear to know he's perfect. So
you think that's Herbie next to him?
oh, it's totally
Looks
Herbie.
like him. Yeah.
If that's not Herbie, I'm gonna like eat a
Right.
sandwich on a live stream. I don't know. What Cameraman asked, what are they gonna do Doctor Doom or anyone else like Super Skrull? They're definitely not doing Super Skrull because they ruined that already in Secret Invasion.
Yep.
A Super Skrull that
What are
only
you talking
copies the
about? We still
Fantastic
have
Four
another
powers
Skrull.
would just seem lame at this point, right?
Yep.
I hate Secret Invasion.
Who doesn't?
It's a good question. Even the people that worked on it hated it.
Kyle, I could be wrong, but is it the first time we got a Jewish actor for Ben?
Yes,
Oh yeah. Huh.
because Michael Chiklis was great, but he wasn't Jewish, so he wasn't perfect. He was just really, really good.
And there was no Fantastic Four movie in between this and
Nope.
the Fox one.
Definitely wasn't another one that happened.
Never happened.
Never happened.
So if this is in the '60s,
Yes.
does this still mesh with everything else? Like, oh hey, remember them back in the '60s, the Fantastic Four?
Well,
Is that
I
what-
can see. I can
There
see
was a
maybe
line by Doctor Strange in Multiverse of Madness where he said, Fantastic Four, didn't you guys chart in the 60s? Which
Okay.
could be something.
Huh.
The other thing that I've heard, and I don't want to spread rumors because I have zero like backing on this because I just heard it from other like YouTubers and stuff that have been pretty reliable in the past. So it's what I've heard is that it takes place in 2 time periods, like a Kamen Rider Kiva situation, sort of. Well, not a Kiva
Oh.
situation, but like there's another example and I can't think of it. I don't know why Kiva's my go-to, but basically like
I know or something.
it's going to be like framed in present day, but then like explain what happened to them in the 60s. That kind of thing. And yes, Agent Carter is
Okay.
still canon and all this.
Oh god, I have a weird theory.
Yes.
What if when they got hit with the powers to turn them, eventually the thing warps them to the present day instead? So like while it shows them in like the 60s settings, what if it's like one of those things where like the ship hits them? And they
Yeah.
got brought to the present.
I have another.
Oh.
The rays and mutated.
I have another theory that they're trapped in like the negative zone.
A loop. Oh, negative
That's
zone.
true too.
Oh, a loop would be fun though. Now think about that. The loop would be good.
what villain do you
Here's
want?
one
if
thing.
it's-
I'm just glad it isn't the other guy as Reed. I just don't know how I feel about.
What from
Pedro being
Multiverse of
Reed.
Madness? The actor from
I
Multiverse
was
of Madness?
Yeah, 'cause
kind of.
everyone was like wanting him.
I didn't. John Krasinski was the worst Reed Richards ever seen put to film. I'm sorry. For everyone that liked
I
him,
mean-
I'm sorry. He was awful.
But I mean, to be fair, he didn't really have much time.
He didn't have much
He-
time, but in that time, it made me never want to see his face on that
Exactly.
costume ever again. So that's really something.
I didn't rewatch Multiverse of Madness, so I don't really remember.
He's in it for
performance.
2.5 minutes, but it's excruciatingly painful for me to watch.
What was his
I
problem?
remember
fact
not
that he
liking
was
him when
so
I saw him
stupid.
either.
Because
And that
like the reason why is because it was John Krasinski wearing a blue costume saying words. He couldn't even be bothered to put any personality into it. That wasn't just John Krasinski.
It was so
That's true.
weird. It still
Yes,
weirded me
yes,
out,
Spin Dash. His role really unraveled fast.
It weirded me
But,
like-
honestly, it more weirded me out than even bother trying to get back the Tim Story actor back for that role.
Yeah, exactly. I don't like. It's fine to put in a fan cast, but it made me realize that like John Krasinski doesn't care about that part. You know, because if he cared about that part, he would have put his all into those 2.5 minutes to be sure he could get that part again. But he clearly did not want it.
Give credit to The Rock. At least he tried to be Black Adam.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I know when an actor's trying. You know, like Anson Mount was like face acting. Was out face acting everybody else in that movie. But like John Krasinski had like 6 lines, and I was just like, please just stop talking and die already.
I would say it's probably gonna be.
He out acted Soundout when he thought Soundout caught him.
Yep.
When he was like, wait, excuse me, what did you say? Oh, the show, yeah. Like, I still love that when me and Soundout in hindsight realized that his reaction was he was so tired that he thought that Soundout had somehow saw a leaked copy of
Multiverse of Madness. Yeah, I talked to Anson Mount about Black Bolt for a moment, and he was like, yeah, oh yeah, that show I did.
I would say it's one of these where it's like you think things could be CG, not like practical suit.
Probably CG, but if it's anything like Beast in the Marvels, spoilers, I don't care anymore. If it's anything like Beast in the Marvels, it'll be great. Because like looking at this art, if he looks like that and he's CG, like I'm still in.
Yeah, because I was like,
whoa! What did you say?
You not seen the Marvels?
No, I haven't seen it yet. Well, what did you say?
When the Beast showed up in the Marvels, as in the
Beast, as in
X-Men.
Slight
McCoy.
Slight spoilers for a post-credit scene.
Monica get transferred to assumingly the Fox X-Men universe, maybe, who knows, or just a X-Men universe.
And Kelsey Grammer voices a CG Beast in a lab coat.
That sounds horrible.
It's great. It looks amazing. It's actually like the best Beast has ever looked in a movie.
Because he looks kind of like 90s Beast.
Okay.
He looks like the 90s, like...
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, you have to see it. I mean, The Marvels is a fun movie.
Right.
It's on Disney Plus now, I think, right? Did it hit?
No, I know it is. It's been on for a while. I
just
haven't had the time. I've been too busy doing other shit.
Yeah, it's understandable. It's not like it's a huge, impactful
like
movie.
Watching Simpsons.
I like it. Infinity War Torn brings a good point.
I saw a joke that Jerry kept referencing. Why I didn't know it. It was because I haven't gotten to it yet in my rewatch. Infinity
War Torn said, I also feel people only wanted Krasinski so Emily Blunt could be Sue. Emily Blunt would have been a better Sue Storm for sure, like than John Krasinski was as Reed. I think people just kept looking at his face and going, he has the face shape, and I'm like, yeah, but that's only like 20% of the job.
Yeah.
That being said, going back to Pedro Pascal. Going back to Pedro Pascal, there was a video clip that came out of like how Pedro Pascal memorizes like lines from movies, and he pulled up like this paperwork that looked like he was the Zodiac killer with how he had it all like laid out, and I was just like, oh, he is perfect for Reed. It was just like, here's some insane scribbling to remember words. And I'm like, okay.
Remember, this is Pedro Pascal's the same dorky idiot that was like, I'm playing the bug, right? And they're like, we brought you to be in the Star. Oh, wait, what?
Yep.
Yeah,
when I think of Pedro Pascal, I don't know what movie he is from, but I just think of that one clip where him and Nick Cage like watched Paddington 2 and cried and called it the best movie
I need to see that movie still.
That movie is...
I still need to see that movie.
That movie's amazing.
What movie is that from?
It's the unbearable weight of great talent or something. Yeah, it's like some really long title. JoJo Star, yes, that's exactly my thing. Just because they look like the character doesn't mean he's a good choice to play. Same thing I have, because remember we talked about like MCU characters we wanted, and I was like, Hercules, and then everyone had to remind me Hercules was in Thor Love and Thunder. I went and looked up that actor's filmography, and I think he's great. But I don't know if he should be Hercules. I'm not sure about the casting.
The fact that he made you forget that he was in there.
Yeah,
right?
And I mean, he was in there less than Krasinski was. Like, he was Hercules for all of like 10 seconds. But the thing was, I went and looked at his film history, and I was like, this is like skinny funny man type actor, not like big burly funny man, and then I realized how much of him was CG, and I'm like,
CG.
why is he CG from the neck down? Why
To
would
be
you not
fair,
just cast a bodybuilder type?
Right?
To be fair, that was
Still-
from Love and
still my
Thor
favorite
Love and
Pedro.
Thunder. Remember that?
That was Thor: Love and
So-
Thunder, yeah. I mean, I hope they do something cool with Hercules, but I'm also like, I would not be opposed to him like being recast. And the other thing too, I watched an interview that was done with the actor after Thor: Love and Thunder came out, and even he was like, "Yeah, I wasn't sure about them casting me for this part, but I did it." I'm just like, well, if you're not sure either, maybe we should start over.
Do you want? So what villain do you want for this movie? I'm hoping for Mole Man.
I'm a nihilist.
Oh, Nihilus makes the most sense. They're going up the whole Naked Zone arc, but
Yep.
a part of
I
me
mean, the
really
rumor
wants to,
currently
like-
is that Javier Bardem's playing Galactus, which sounds rad, but like, you know, we've done that before. Can we do a nihilist, please?
a part of me just really wants to see live action Mole Man.
Danny DeVito needs to play Mole Man in like a... Because, again, another one of the rumors that we're not going to see the origin. Like, it's going to be like Spider-Man, where they just kind of like go, yeah, origin happened.
Is this-
That would be a great, like, cold open to do Mole Man. Like, Underminer.
imagine Danny DeVito
Underminer
Mole
in
Man.
Incredibles 2. But
Yeah,
with Mole Man.
Just imagine Danny DeVito Mole Man. That'd be so perfect.
It would be. And that would be a fine stunt casting type moment, because he's only going to be in it for, like, the opening
Oh, it
scene.
didn't send right. Damn it. I tried to send another GIF of Pedro Pascal in my favorite movie that he was ever in.
Yeah.
Man,
Well, it's not my favorite movie,
man.
but it's my favorite role that he was in. But let's just say blood-sucking bosses or blood-sucking bastards or whatever. It has multiple titles.
Mhm.
It's probably one of the best Pedro Pascal performances before he was a somebody.
Yeah, Pedro Pascal's great, and I'm not like, I think out of the whole cast, he's the only one where I'm like, maybe, but then I saw that video of him being weird, and I was like, okay, no, he's good. I'm excited for this, you know, it's
Sound
our,
Out-
we get a Fantastic
I was
Four
about to
movie
say,
every
you said
10
the
years,
video
so.
being weird. There's several of it though.
Oh, I
There's
know.
What do you
several
mean?
of it though.
What do you mean? It's been 20. There was no movie between this and Rise of Silver Surfer.
No, I mean, it's been like 10 years since Rise of the Silver Surfer. It came out late in 2015, so if you look up Fantastic Four 2015, you find Rise of the Silver Surfer. It is funny,
That's
though,
how any-
95 to 2005 to 2015 to 2025. What is with these 10-year gaps?
It's the Fantastic Four, not the Fantastic Five.
Yeah.
Herbie
Anyways,
there now. What are you
No,
talking
you
about?
must say, unless I count Herbie.
I'm always count Herbie. This is a brilliant poster, and I want hand-drawn posters again.
And that
guys.
one
This is great.
robot from Gatchaman. I forgot what his name was.
Okay. Before we move on, because I'm ready to move on from this. Spin Dash says, "What's your favorite depiction of Fantastic Four so far? Animation, live action, etc. World's Greatest Heroes.
Heroes.
Yeah, World's Greatest Heroes is like the Fantastic Four
Was that the
adaptation.
Fox one? Fox Kids one?
No, that's
No,
the
that's
one
whatever.
that goes,
that's the
no,
French
no,
one.
Oh.
The
That's
French
what I like.
animated one. I love the Fox Kids show too, but it also has that Johnny Storm rap song that's a curse against humanity. That
No, not that one.
yeah, no, not that
That's
one.
the 90s one.
Yeah, the 90s
No,
one.
there's only there's a X-Men Fantastic Four card. There was what the
No, the
original
Fox.
60s.
There wasn't even. It wasn't even on Fox. It was on UPN 9.
Oh, was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The most ridiculous Silver Surfer you want to think of like 90 like Fox X-Men. I mean Fantastic Four.
Let me I'll pop this up on the screen because I will
Fantastic
always.
Four, Iron Man, and Hulk went UPN 9.
Yeah, because they're part of the
X-Men,
Marvel action
Silver
block.
Surfer and Spider-Man.
Was it? Yeah, it was always Spider-Man. It was Spider-Man, X-Men, Unlimited, Silver Surfer.
If you glance
and
at the
United.
stream, Jerry, you'll be able to see the World's Greatest Heroes version.
Well, I am looking, but
Yeah.
all I see is you.
It'll just take a
Hey,
moment
that's the
for
one
it.
I'm talking about.
No,
Yeah,
that was Cartoon.
It aired on
that was-
Cartoon
that was
Network.
Cartoon Network.
Oh, it's Cartoon Network. Okay, then. I
yeah.
thought it was
Fox was-
Fox. Because
Fox
they
was
own
dead.
it.
Fox owned it. Yeah,
No.
Fox owned the show, but it didn't air on
Yeah,
Fox.
but Yeah.
Yeah.
No, wasn't it Marvel Animation who made the show?
Well, it was Moonscope that made the show. Marvel.
Yeah, but was it?
Marvel
under
oversaw it. Fox owned it, and Fox is the one that put it out on DVD.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yeah, that one's the goated one. I thought since Fox owned it, it was
I
still
mean,
on Fox.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of I'm
Because
thinking of
Fox Kids was dead.
Yep.
I was thinking of Wolverine
That one came
X-Men
out.
because that was done by Marvel Productions, but that
Mm.
was telling a tie into Fox movies.
All right. In other news, we got confirmation that she's playing Maria in Sonic 3.
I love the photo.
I love that this is to cover up what costume she's wearing because it's not ready to be shown yet, but like it's the funniest thing that not only has this actress been responding to the memes everyone's making about Maria dying in Sonic 3, But like,
The fact that the photo she took,
she did this on
carrying a
purpose.
bag.
I'm glad they confirmed it because like we all guessed that she was playing Maria, and I'm glad it's just like we don't have to keep like going. Oh,
Guessing.
is it or is like it's confirmed. It's 100%. Like there she is.
So, but here's the thing: are we actually gonna get a child murder in our movie? Because
I
X-Men
think
lied to
she's
me,
gonna
I'm
die. I
doing
just
that.
don't think she's gonna get shot on screen. I think that's just a little too far for a Sonic movie.
Come on, don't be pussies.
I mean, I want it. I would like it
Oh,
because
boy.
it's the defining moment of the franchise. But I also would understand if they just did it off screen.
Pussies. Pussies.
It
Look,
is a kids and
My
family
God.
movie.
I mean, if a Ray E10 game could do it,
Hey, that was a
but
T-rated
PG.
game that had one shot cut out of it to make it an E10 game.
True.
Peacemaker says she'll get ejected out of an airlock. Much more horrifying, but has a lower rating.
Yeah.
Okay.
The gun shoulder shoots the button that opens the airlock.
Yes, he missed or someone like comes in and knocks the gun out of his hand, but it still shoots the airlock, so they both feel guilty.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we find out the guy that knocked the gun out of the way is Olive Garden guy.
Yep.
It needs to be like the Degrassi shot where the backpack just falls and somehow goes off anyways through the
Yes.
bag and break in the back.
No.
If we're not gonna shoot and kill her, let's cripple her.
Yep.
No, it's gonna be the guy. It was the Auburn guy that shot was about to shoot, but the guy who stopped him was the wedding guy.
The wedding guy?
With the,
Well, that doesn't work
with the-
age-wise. Age-wise,
And
wedding
then-
guys.
No, not the
and then
wedding
Tommy
guy.
Lee
what's
Jones
The
has to
priest?
show-
Not the wedding guy. The priest.
The
Yeah,
priest.
with the gun in his.
Oh, God.
and then
with the gun
Tommy
in
Lee
his foot.
Jones has to show up and have Shadow going, you shot her, and he's like, I didn't do it, and then he's like, I don't care.
I don't
Yep.
care.
Everyone's gonna be
Mr.
like,
Tanuki
And then
said
Shadow falls out and goes, my glasses.
"Glasses."
Mr. Tanuki says someone floated the bullet missing, but shattering the window, getting her spaced. Like it accidentally gets there. Kyle says, hey, Sonic Adventure 2 was E and they still got away with child murder, to be fair. Yeah, that was also pre 9/11.
Yeah, and there was no gunshot sound in the SAT
Yeah.
version also.
Shadow or revive Maria with a kiss, Sonic 06 style.
No, there would be no body. I mean, years
Shouldn't be
after.
no body. Mr. Tuki says, and I'll put this in the best voice of Olive Garden guy. I killed her, Sonic, and that's why I had to drown my sorrows in never-ending pasta. Whew.
This should be clipped. That moment should be clipped.
Yep. Muteki knows how to clip things. Muteki's gonna clip things. All right. Go-Go Loser Ranger, the manga series, is getting an anime, and that anime is airing April 7th. We got a poster for it.
On Disney Plus.
It is Disney Plus worldwide. Because we live in weird times, guys. Disney Power Rangers is back, all.
I still need to read them all. I have the first volume for a while now. I need to actually read it. But I mean, this also shows that I think Hulu was about to just fully merge because
Hulu's so dead.
Yeah, because I know there have been like Bleach and Undead Lucky. They were on Hulu, but if you in certain countries, if you do what the merger with the Hulu account, Disney, you can able to watch it on Disney Plus, or in most countries only on Disney Plus.
Also, Mao's playing the Pink Ranger, which feels like a missed opportunity to have her be yellow again.
Yeah, but with this and the Sandland and maybe on Disney Plus, I think it really shows that I think they really are just gonna kill off Hulu and just put all the anime stuff on Disney Plus now.
Yep.
It makes sense.
The official description, for those that don't know what this is, when the monster army invaded Earth 13 years ago, the Divine Dragon Rangers rose up to stop them. With the war raging on, these great heroes are mankind's last hope, or are they? In truth, the invaders are subjugated within a year, forced to continue to crank out a monster for a week for the Rangers to crush in front of their adoring fans. But one monster has had enough. Something has to change. He will rebel against the might of the Dragon Rangers and destroy them all from the inside.
Yeah, so I read the first chapter at the very least, and the main character of the series is Spiritual Henchman. He's
a grunt.
The concept of the series. Yep.
I will probably watch an episode. I watched Love After World Domination for 2 episodes, and then I just kind of forgot about it. I really want Sentai to do its own anime because everybody seems to be like doing like Sentai-like animes.
Yeah.
I never have latched on to any of them. I've tried them, but like I haven't latched on to any of them yet. But we'll see what happens.
I really love Love After World Domination, but But like that's one of those things where it's a great fun comedy, but so like cute romance. But
It's
like
a
this one's more
rom-com,
going.
and that's not my jam.
Well, yeah, but like this was from what I've seen, Go Loser Ranger actually has a story, like actually has an ongoing story versus Love After World
Yep.
Domination. So this feels like a little more maybe up your alley from what I've seen and
Yeah.
read of it.
Hellfire says Akiba Ranger would have been a fun anime. I agree. And Psychos, yeah, that was kind of my thing too with Love After World Domination. He says it's basically
It's
just
just
Car
Car
Ranger.
Ranger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the Zonette Red Racer romance for Car Ranger, which Car Ranger's an action show on top of being, cute romance stuff. Also, welcome
Honestly,
Infinite.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's one of the things where all these Sentai parodies are like not just like parodies to make fun. They're like love letters of their
Mm.
like. It's not just a haha Sentai. It's actually like love letters to the franchise to them.
Okay. It's the 30th anniversary of Ninja Sentai Kaku Ranger. They gathered the cast together for a Q&A, and they're doing a fan meetup event. And yes, that was what the big lead up for the February 18th announcement. They're like, big news, and then it was literally a 6.5-minute video where Gak talked about how much he loved Kaku Ranger, and then they're like, you can come meet the cast at this event, and then that was like it. It did say
That's
to be
it?
continued, so like maybe there's more,
Oh.
but
Not yet. Hopefully, because like not even like a memorial Doron change.
yeah, I know,
Like,
it's
really?
weird, right? Taka from Kutetsu Toys like basically summed it up as today's main announcement is a fan meeting event, but they said they have another announcement too. Not sure what it'll be. I mean, I think we're hoping for a 30th anniversary movie. We're hoping for at least a Memorial Doron changer, but like, yeah, they're like big announcement, and it's like you can meet them in person, and I'm like, that's a big announcement, sure, but like, why'd you build it up 2 weeks in advance and announce that at Cho say of all things?
I mean, what's the difference between that versus like a con? Like meet him at a
I mean, they
con,
do
for
these.
example.
They did meetups like this for other Sentai teams' anniversaries, but they didn't hype them up this much, which is why I have a weird feeling that this fan meetup's going to have a big announcement at it, and that's why they're going to be like rolling this out throughout the year.
Essentially, yeah, I think it makes sense to do a memorial Doron because I'm pretty sure the artisan one didn't have voices of the
No, the
Rangers,
artisan
right?
one was the first artisan changer, and so it had nothing. It just had sounds and a music
So
clip.
you have the actors right here. You could literally have them just record all the audio for them.
Yeah, and Kane Kosogi can lift the entire cast with his arms. Have you seen those things? Look at that.
Yeah, I know, right?
I can't wait till Kane is like, I killed my father in the show.
Well, yeah, we have Ultraman powered Absolute Tartarus, John Hanajiro.
And then Ninja Yellow and White. You guys got any thoughts on the Kaku Ranger 30th before we move on?
I really hope there's more.
Happy to see.
Because I really hope there's more.
Yep.
Unless I'm not happy. No, I'm happy.
Cool. All right. Well, we're going to take a short break. I'll hit the little YouTube ad insert button. I'm going to get the next news prepped, but also just take a little break.
The sound team will return after these messages.
Yeah. And we're back. We're back.
We now return to the sound stream.
We're gonna make fancy title cards at some point. All right. Well, let's see. Let's Bandai toy news. There we go. I don't know if I'm gonna make these title cards any fancier, but I think they work. It's gonna be really easy to skim this stream later on the replay. Okay,
I mean,
so
you can easily include like those chapter timers for
I could.
post show. Yeah.
Yeah, I might do that if I remember. Okay, so we're back, and the SH Figuarts Auto Vagine is lame as hell because it's just the bike. It does not transform into a robot.
No, yeah, just bike.
Just bike. Look at that. It also comes with the Fize box thing for the gear, and then it comes with a sword that isn't like included with other things. So, and then of course the box can be put on the back, and it has like the little tie down things. Yeah, it like Psychos brings up, the new Auto Vagine is 3,000 yen more than the OG, and the OG transformed. But you can buy it on P Bandai US if you wish. I'm not going to tell you what to do with your money. I just think it's lame as hell. It doesn't turn into a robot.
All I remember is wasn't there like an April Fool's joke where like Bandai said we're making a complete section Auto Vagine that's like actual.
Oh, the full size, yeah.
Yeah, for April Fool's joke.
Yep. Anyways, moving on. Hey, guess what? They remembered they forgot to release Ultraman Trigger Power Type into SH Figuarts.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did all the tech forms. Trigger. Didn't they do glitter?
They did. They did every trigger form, including like Evil Trigger and stuff. And yet they completely forgot they hadn't made Trigger Power. I wonder if they're ever going to remember they forgot to do Tiga Sky. Right, Will?
Who knows?
Tiga Sky. What happened to Tiga Sky? Remember, hey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dead.
Ultraman Tiga.
It's yeah. Yeah, I know the economy's changed a lot. Like Spin Dash brought up with Japan and the prices. It's just weird because it's like I don't see the appeal of Auto Vagine without it having a robot mode. That's personally speaking. I just don't see the appeal to it without it having a robot mode.
Why can't it transform?
Because they didn't make it that way. Because of budgeting. It's like basically what I'm saying is why make it at all if you're not going to make it transformable?
I like the thing for
The
Trigger
point
Power
is that it
Type.
transforms.
I like the for Trigger Power Type. They were about to release it, but then like it slipped out, like slipped in between the couch cushions, and they totally forgot to release it. And then just someone dig through those couch cushions, go like, "Oh wait, they were released this yet? I don't think so."
Yeah. Figurize Auto Vagine would be great. That's a good way to fix the budget problem. But yeah, it's nice that Power Type exists. Are we ever gonna get those other orb forms though?
What have they not done? Did they only
Burn Might and Hurricane Slash?
Yeah. Did they do Breaster?
They did Thunder Breaster, yeah, but they didn't do Hurricane Slash or Burn Might. They didn't do
Lightning Tacker or Hurricane or Enradiant Slugger.
Yeah, and they didn't do Geats base 2 forms either. Acro Smasher and that other one. Solid Burning.
Did they do any of the movie forms?
They did the movie. I think they've done almost all the movie forms. Except for
Like,
Groob and Rega.
Did they ever do Orb Origin the first?
Yeah.
It seems like an easy repaint.
I figured.
They didn't do Orb.
They did Orb Origin the first as an Amazon Japan exclusive.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but they didn't do the movie form yet for Orb.
Oh, Trinity, yeah, they didn't do Trinity.
They didn't do Trinity yet.
Yeah. Let's see.
No one really wants Trinity
Kyle
either.
says, "What about Titus?" I have a Titus now, so now I stop talking about it.
The quest is over.
The quest is over. How do I feel about P Bandai Gunpla? I feel like the fact that most Gunpla are P Bandai is ridiculous and stupid, but like, I get why some are P Bandai. Like, I collect the F90 kits, but I'm like the only one that does, so I get why those are P Bandai. But anyways, that's all we got on the Figuarts news. Just kidding. There's other stuff. Kamen Rider Majed's coming up. She's going to go out for pre-order soon. She will be P Bandai, but that's not really a surprise because, everything else Gotchard was P Bandai. What is cool, she comes with a Kimi capture device. It's on her belt here. That's pretty neat. And I might actually pick her up because I really like Majid. So look at her. She looks all like as above, now below thing. So yeah.
Oh boy.
February 22nd. Pretty cool. And then we're getting King Cold. Going up the same day. So no price yet, but here is
He's gonna be a big
Frieza
figure, I
Daddy.
imagine.
Yeah.
He's gonna be a big. Is this
Frieza
his second?
Daddy.
Is
Frieza
this
Daddy.
his second action figure? Is this his second action figure?
I think it's only a
Say-
second, right, Jerry? It's not like
Because
they don't make
Uh,
them often.
the
No, I
only
don't see
other
much King Cold.
the
Yeah.
only other one I can think of is the old Jack specific King Cold from that 2-pack with Trunks, that weird Trunks.
Yeah. Anyways, at
He's
least he
gonna-
exists.
Is this cape?
I mean, yeah.
Is cape
Do they have
plastic?
Mecha Frieza?
They've done Mecha Frieza, yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
there
they
you go.
definitely-
You finally have Mecha Frieza with him.
Yeah, you can put the
Is
whole
this
scene
cape-
together. It is a plastic cape, yeah.
Interesting. You think they'll do?
It looks.
I guess
It's
they'll-
split right here, like here, so it's probably gonna have like the little like flip, like fold out thing. So, what was? I didn't look at Majid's cape. Let's look at Majid's cape again. I'm pretty sure it's
Yeah,
not
that's
cloth,
plastic.
but I just
That's
want to see
plastic.
like, is it gonna be? It's gonna stay out of the way because it's all off the back of her.
It's not gonna be like the King Oger figure art.
Yeah, it's not gonna be like the King Ocher figure where it's just like in the way all the time. All right, in the world of Shogoken Modeling Project, we have Gingayo, which is from Seiji Sentai Gingaman, also known as the Galaxy Megazord from Power Rangers Lost Galaxy. And you guys know that I really love Lost Galaxy, so you know that I'm probably totally buying
I
this.
mean, do you?
Do I?
Looks really like.
No, that looks dope.
It found out.
Mhm.
What happened this morning since I sent... I'm pretty sure I'm the first one who showed it to you, right?
Yes, you were the first one that showed it to me. There, I'll make the images so we can see
Yeah,
the
I
full
knew.
thing.
I knew that was gonna be the thing because as soon as I saw it when I was waking up this morning, I was like, yep, all right. So internet's back, and all of a sudden, let me see what I missed. All of a sudden, I look and I'm like, oh shit, no,
Mm-hmm.
oh fuck, oh god, let's go.
Yep.
And I was like, hey, Soundout, let's go.
So let's take a look at the details because they had this art. This is the article. It's all broken down, nice and neat. The first things first here is Gingalion or Gingaleon, depending on how you want to say it. Looking rad, looking cool. Gingauken, which is the Falcon one, and then we got Gingarilla, looking cool. Now Gingarilla is going to have some articulation because it's super
not
mini
just gonna be a
plot. Is what
brick?
we do. He's not just a total brick, but he actually holds the hands, and he's got room to hold 4 hands because there's going to be a total of 6 hands with this, I think, or is it 4 hands? Is it 2 holding and 2 open, or is there also fists?
I
I
think
can't
it's
remember.
2 holding, and I think it's holding, and I think it's open hands.
Yeah. So you can store them all in the feet, which is awesome. Love that. That's
Unlike
my
the
jam.
original toy, which only had 1 pair of hands.
Now, if you look at Ginga, whatever this one is,
The Condor,
the 4-legged
the
yellow thing,
Jaguar,
the
Was it
Jaguar, whatever we're calling it. You may notice the tail looks a little shorter and the legs look a little shorter than the original design. Well, that's intentional. We'll talk about that in a moment. But you see, we got the whole crew, and they can run together and look all neat, and then they
Fear Cat.
will
The yellow
combine.
yellow was a Fear Cat, wasn't it? Or was that?
See you later, JoJo Star. And then they combine, and then I don't remember what the animals are, and then there they are together. Looks so cool. And then you can also have
Ginga-
brick mode.
Gingayo-
Yeah.
Gingayo is one of the designs that I always didn't like, but like I don't know what this SMP is really selling it to me. Maybe because they modified the I feel like they modified the proportions
Mhm.
a lot with this kit, so like he looks really dynamic and cool. I really like this
Yeah.
kit.
He looks amazing. They did a really great job. Here's what I was talking about with the legs. Let's pop this closer. So what they did is because on the original toy, like the tails and the legs were longer, so they kind of got in the way. But because of the articulation, they shortened the tail and the legs specifically to make
sacrificed-
sure it had articulation range, and so the elbow bend worked.
They sacrificed the cat's like legs and tail
Yep.
to make for the which fine. I think
Works
the
for
fan
me.
sacrifice
I always build these things, combine them once, and then never take them apart again. So, but look at this though. The guys like most Megazord figures, most mini plot figures can't even do stuff like that. Like
the
that's just
posability is like
So this is
really
the fun part.
yeah.
The elbows, if I recall, are not actual elbow joints. They're just doing what they did with Grand Liner, and those are actually like hinge joints that are like kind of just fake joints. Like it'll still fold out, but it's not a full elbow. Like say like Mutek. I would say like Galaxy Mega or Gal.
The parts that connect the elbow lines, there's another part that's been devised. Oh, yeah. That's what it is. It's 2 different elbows to be 2 different distances. Yeah, that's what it is.
So they can they still bend?
Well,
Or the 6?
They might be able to bend and compress, but it'll be slightly fixed because that's what happened with Grand Liners. Grand Liners,
yeah.
you can sort of bend it, but like it was still kind of fixed at how far you could go.
A
It
lot
wasn't
of
like a full solid joint.
Yeah,
as
so
long
you
as
see
it's
like
still-
here it's just because of the way the transformation works. Here you can probably move this one like just a little bit for like let me get my elbow in frame. Like from here to here. And then with this other one you can have it go like in this range, basically.
Yeah,
So.
as long as the elbow still moves, I don't mind that then.
Also, Jeremy Carr mentions there's 25 people that haven't liked the stream. I'd appreciate you hit the like button. Thank you so
The
much.
stream people.
Let's see. Psycho was mentioned. This is how he thinks it'll go. Gingayo, Bull Taurus with the axe and the Lights of Ginga parts. Yeah, it's not going to be, the Lights of Ginga aren't going to be included in this. Then Ginga, Rhinos, Phoenix, and Bitus to scale. Maybe not. There's a problem with Ginga Bitus. We could talk about that. Yeah, probably at a different day. And then there's probably going to be a Super Shoto pack, but they'll pack the Lights of Ginga stuff there with Bull Black, which does seem likely. Because every time they do an SMP, they do a Super Shoto. So
I mean, if they do SMP, finally you can get all the weapons for the Ginga.
Everybody will have consistent weapons for Lost Galaxy. Wouldn't that be great?
Finally.
Yeah, but I'm super sold on this. I'm definitely getting this. I love Lost Galaxy. I love Ginga Man too. Ginga Man's one of my favorites. I love the design of Gingayo. I really do. And this thing is it's selling me. The other cool part is that they did a thing with the Condor. So when it's got its bowcaster mode, if you pull it back, it pulls the wings. Now, I imagine this won't be spring-loaded like the Deluxe, but will actually be manual.
It'll be what they do. So Bandai does this a lot of time with some mangas where it's no.
It's a manual version of a spring gimmick. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all like bars and all that stuff internally. So it'll do the same thing, but with no.
Also, it has the shield mode.
I also love how they made the handle. I love the fact that the handle is able to fold up to do like its shield / static.
Wait, was that kind of Lost Galaxy? I don't remember it doing a shield mode. Or was it rarely used?
Did they even use the shield mode?
They would hold it like that when they were done usually killing the monster.
Oh, it was like the standby, like after.
I just thought it was like the standby. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
like a standby. Like some people call it a shield. It's not really a shield. It's just more like.
That's a pretty crap shield.
Yep. This will be going up for pre-order February 20th, which is tonight, and it'll be 6,800 yen. It is going to be sold in one box, so unlike past SMP kits that were it is a retail release, not a P Bandai.
Mini boxes.
Instead of being a case with like 4 boxes inside, it's going to be one box, all sold together as they always freaking should be.
69,000.
Yeah, it's 68,000 yen, or 6,800. I mean, not 68,000. That's a much more expensive toy. So your USD conversion is about $45.
That is not bad at all.
It's not bad at all.
It's not bad.
But yeah, it's going up tonight. So if you're looking for it on your import sites, keep an eye out. Okay, now the next SMP is Daltanius, who is way more expensive because it's Daltanius. Have you guys? If no one's ever seen how Daltanius combines, this thing is kind of ridiculous.
Daltanius was what the original Voltron, like the original one to be.
He was going to be. This was going to be our Voltron. This is the
one with the lion.
That's the one with the lion. Yeah, they wanted the one with the lion. They got Go Lion instead.
Now, Daltanius did air in Italy, though.
That's true. Very popular in Italy. For a while, the only subs that existed online for this show were Italian subs translated to English. Because that was like just the only options we had at the time. And then Discotek licensed it. But anyways, it's so for Daltanius, he's kind of a weird guy, right? But you got I forget the actual name. It's like because that translation's not right. Mirai Man Atlasus. Anyways, it's this robot dude, right? And he's got a little like jet scrander thing, like Mazinger. And then there is this lion dude, looking all lion and rad. And then the lion, and then there's also the spaceship. So lion spaceship robot is not like your usual combo things, but it's pretty cool. Anyways, when you cross, you do your cross beam thing. This is how he combines. So the robot has to like fold up into this stuff. The lion has to make a torso, and then the ship just becomes the legs and the arms. It's a really wacky combo, and it's a really weird robot to do. And every time they do it, it's expensive because look how weird this is.
Why does he have a lion on his chest? Because it's cool.
Because it's cool. And so then here's Daltanius together. He also has a sword, fire sword. Now, the part that I'm confused about, there's a bunch of extra weapons. There is 2 editions of this kit, okay? There is a retail release version, and then there was a Premium Bandai limited version. But I'm not exactly sure what is in the retail and what is in the P Bandai. Because look at how much stuff there is. There is a lot of weapons. And this is all accurate to the show. So here's the whole lineup, right? So this is the full volume set. So it says that this is the full volume set, which includes all this stuff, right? And so here's what it says. It says that there is Future Robot Daltanius on February 20th for 9,000 yen. It's because it's just way more complex than Thinking Gaio. But then there's a Premium Bandai cross-inset version that is 12,980 yen. I'm not 100% certain what comes with the retail and what is exclusive to the P Bandai. Because it also says, and this may be like, the rough Google Translate thing, the Flame Sword included in the general sale version is not included in the limited edition. So, what does that mean? Do you have to buy both to get all the weapons? I have no idea. But it looks nice. You guys got any thoughts on Daltanius before we talk about financial information for a corporation?
Looks cool.
I would love to get this.
I'd like to get him.
But he's expensive.
Yeah, he's expensive, and
look at all those accessories. So wow.
Yeah, he does a lot. So he's at least worth the money, at least.
Yeah, he's worth the money. It's just, yeah, Tryon 3 was directly inspired by Daltanius. A lot of people forget. A lot of people mistake what Tryon 3 from Gundam Build Fighters Try was referencing. Yeah. It was Daltanius.
I want Daltanius. I think it's like Daltanius plus Brave is a mix of.
It was a little bit. It was animated like Brave because it was Sunrise, right? Mm-hmm. Versus Toei who did this, but it was Daltanius designed essentially. It was designed to look a lot because that's just how.
It was either supposed to be him or Guy King.
Nah, it's not Guy King because the animals line up.
It'll be a skull. It'll be a skull. It was Guy King.
But anyways, that's that. Moving on. It's now no longer Bandai toy news. It's Hasbro toy news, including their companies falling off a cliff.
What a big shock.
What a big shock. So we got the Hasbro fourth quarter and full year 2023 financial response. I didn't talk about the other S&P Split the Crook because I knew nothing about it. I didn't want to sit here going,
know what the hell it is.
I don't know what this is.
That's cool.
Yeah. All right. So Hasbro's quote of the day for this is our strategy of fewer, bigger, better. Guys, they listened to what we've been yelling at them for a long time. Make less product, but make them better. What a shock. It took them years to figure this out. Anyways, there was a lot of discussion about how they made too much product, they overproduced product, that there were a lot of business was hurt by things going on clearance. Here's the highlights. Okay, let's just go with the highlights. Full year Hasbro revenues declined by 15%, with growth in the Wizards of the Coast and digital gaming segment, aka the section that just lost most of its employees. That's where the 1,000 jobs... See you later, Smith the Crow. That was where the 1,000 jobs left, was from the Wizards of the Coast and gaming department, which is the thing that showed growth. I don't know how CEOs work, but they sound stupid to me. Anyways.
It's not like the most popular game from last year was inspired by that division. When they contacted them, they were all gone.
Yep. Operating loss of $1,539,000 and $1.3 billion of non-cash goodwill and intangible asset impairment charges associated with E1. Basically, they lost a bunch of money buying E1, and it probably wasn't worth it.
What was the point of me? Did
They just bought
really
E1 to
make-
get Peppa Pig.
Yeah, I think that's what
There was at least like for 5 minutes they're like, let's make E1 an entertainment division, and then they realized that's stupid. We don't need to do that. We already have an entertainment division, and then they just dumped it.
Yeah, because it was All Spark Pictures was the one before, right?
Yeah, it was All Spark Pictures. Okay. There was a net loss of $10.73 per share, which is not good. They reduced owned inventory by 51% versus last year, including a 56% decline in customer products inventory, meaning that they had a decline in actually selling through the inventory that they produced. So yeah. Then there was they completed the sale of E1 to Lionsgate in December. They had to pay money to shareholders. The operating cash flow was positively impacted. Woo. Here was the interesting part for what we talk about on this show. Revenue decrease of 19%, driven by business exits, category trends, and inventory management. That is all your fancy corporate buzzwords for retailers started dropping product that we were making. People weren't buying what they were before, and we made too much of what we did. And so they had 19% drop in their revenue because of all those mass clearances we saw and all that overstock, that caused their revenue to drop by 19%.
You know what's the most annoying thing about this? It feels like that. It's like it feels like it's less. Oh, we made too much product. Because it's more of like, oh, they're gonna make a less stock of per item. It feels like, it feels like
it does feel like instead of making less product, they're going to make less stock.
Which is the problem, because I think that's the biggest problem is they made so much stuff, but yet half it was low stock. Half you couldn't find anything.
I ran the numbers, by the way. Transformers, G.I. Joe, Power Rangers, and Marvel. The things I cover for Rundown, right? If we include Studio Series, they released 550 collectors-based figures between those 4 properties last year.
And you can barely find half of them at all.
Yep. So, if they need to reduce the number of products, and they need to reduce the quantity of those as well, because there's the Marvel overstock was ridiculous last year. But you're probably like, oh, I had trouble finding Transformers. Well, there was full year growth in Transformers and G.I. Joe. In case you guys are wondering why G.I. Joe is sticking around and Power Rangers couldn't make it, it's because Transformers and G.I. Joe are the only 2 things cited as growth. Okay? Only 2. Not Marvel, not Star Wars, not D&D. It's just Transformers and G.I. Joe are the ones that made them money last year. And then Furby apparently performed well at launch, but they said that about other things.
Oh, it's Furby.
It's Furby. So yeah. The Wizards of the Coast revenue increased. Everything was great, except for the fact they laid off 1,000 people. Revenue declined to 31%, driven by lower TV and film revenue due to actors and writers' strikes. Yeah, that's Hollywood for you. It's hard to be a corporation in multiple fields, but you really shouldn't be in toys and Hollywood.
Wait, say that again?
What? Revenue declined to 31%, driven by writer and actor strikes.
How? Because
they couldn't make anything, so that they lost money because they weren't producing anything.
But Rise of the Beast came out before the strikes. Same with Dungeons and Dragons, and all the other stuff were non-union or animation.
If stuff isn't being developed, nobody's making money.
Okay, I was like,
yeah.
I guess that makes sense by that way. But I was like confused. Like, wait, what do you mean? Half of them were here before, or
that's the business of Hollywood that toy people don't quite get, is that you lose money when nothing's being done. It doesn't even matter if you were actively producing something. Development money. You don't get development money from your producers if you're not developing anything because people are on strike. It's a tough business. It's tough, but that's a good question to point up because I kind of read that and I was like, yeah, that's a thing. But it's not like, it does sound weird because they haven't had anything in works. But anything that wasn't being worked on that was like development stuff, that declines revenue because you're not getting money from producers if you're not doing any producing. So,
which is weird because I'm pretty sure like their animated stuff is so continuing. Like Earthspark Season 2 is
that's all. That wasn't affected by the strikes. That's why it was only a 31%.
Yeah, I guess that's, yeah.
Yeah, Will says, I loathe the modern entertainment industry. Yeah, it's all based on appeasing Wall Street instead of actually making stuff. And their priorities is to invest in core business, whatever that means, and continue to pay down debt and progress towards leverage target. Sure,
I think
okay,
that's
Hasbro.
related to something called core values.
Yeah, which I
Only
don't
in
think.
my server.
I don't think any corporation has core values. That's it. That's all for the Hasbro thing. And other news, here's a $70 4-pack of figures.
$70.
$70.
No accessories, and 3 of those figures are droids.
Yep. Three droids. The droids are all repaints, and the Ahsoka's a complete rehack with a different card back.
And this is vintage collection, not
This is vintage
Black
collection,
Series, right?
not Black Series. Vintage.
Why
You
is
can't see it because I cut it
why-
off, but it's vintage.
Why is $70?
$70.
How
Is
much?
this supposed to be worth $70 at any point?
How-
Really?
how-
Nope.
How much? How much are
Okay.
vintage collections? How much is vintage collection figures?
$16.
$16. So yeah, that
So
doesn't
even
add up.
4 of those don't add up to 70, do they?
I also want to
No.
remind you guys too that this Ahsoka is not
I'm
only
bad at
just
math, so you know.
yeah, exactly. This Ahsoka is a repack of a previously existing figure on a new card. I got that Ahsoka for $2.50 on clearance because of how many they
The
made.
chat says it. Slap in the
Very-
face.
If that
Or
isn't a slap in the
64,
face, I don't know
almost
what is.
$70
Yeah.
bucks, maybe with tax.
I did the math. If you include tax, it's around 50 at the very least. It should
Mm-hmm.
be around the $50 range. Why is it 70?
70.
God.
No
Golly.
new parts,
Where did
and the
extra 20?
Ahsoka is one of the more common figures. Like, even the hardcore
Wow, not
collectors are
even a
like,
rare figure.
this should have just been a 3-pack. Like, why is Ahsoka here?
Where did the extra 20 come from?
Exactly.
What exactly? What extra 20? That's what I'm trying to figure.
Now, moving from figures that cost way too much to figures that cost way too much, but you wish were better, here's the Loyal Subjects Rat King for the IDW comics. It's blurry because this is off of TikTok. Because that's
I
how this
got,
line gets announced things.
Woof.
I got I was at Target to get the returns thing.
Peacemaker, that set, as far as I know, is an Amazon exclusive. But it could be at
Ugh.
Disney Parks, I don't know.
So funny enough, I found yesterday because at the returns thing, I found the IW Leo, Raph, and Don for on sale for like $13. That no Mikey was frustrating, and I want to like these figure more because, but man,
I want to
so
like them, but
frustrating.
honestly, I just hated my experience making the video on them, and they're sitting in a box, and I don't want to put them on the shelf.
So mine's aren't as stiff as yours, but like I say the worst one's Leo, the best one's Donnie, and Rav is like in the middle. Leo is like really fragile because like if you put any pressure on his scabbards, they break.
Yep.
One of my katanas, I was just putting the katanas in the hand, and it almost snapped. I had to like it didn't break all what.
Those
fully,
hands
but I
are
had to, like,
terrible. Those hands are absolutely
Yeah.
terrible. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, the katanas are super fragile. So like all that stuff, and his joint, he has the worst range in joints. Donnie's honestly the best one. He feels like the most
He is.
normal action figure.
He's like an
really
actual toy.
Yeah, Raph is also pretty decent, but something happened to mine where one his leg is super loose, but also even though the leg was working fine, for some reason it locked. It's what I kind of call it, like the joint pretty much lock up. So if it's one of those like if you move it forward, it's not moving the ball joint's not moving forward, it's moving the stem. Okay, if I move it more, it's gonna snap. And now I haven't moved it. I could go move it because it's gonna break if I do it.
Yeah.
Do it. Like I tried to repair it last night, but when I tried shaving the plastic inside the leg joint, it's stuck. So yeah, the QC like I'm glad I got
So
them
my
on
review
sale.
is like not just me being like bitchy. It's like an actual
Well,
like
it's one of those, well, I didn't
yeah.
bleed. I didn't. It's one of those. I didn't get injured or bleed when I was messing with the
Yeah.
figures, but it's more of the quality of the figures.
You
was
also got to
frustrating.
mess with the figures like close to your body, whereas I had to do it from a foot away around the camera. There's so many things when I'm doing figure reviews where I'm like, this is the annoying way to play with toys because it's just you have to constantly be around the camera, and so sometimes like it doesn't come off as good in video. I think, or I have trouble filming it.
So yeah, it's one of the things where it's like,
Hey, that's one of the reasons why some of my Transformer toys broke on camera was because
there's also
Transformers
Alapex, so I
actually-
forgot to pop her up. She looks good.
it's one of these where I want to support this line because I want more IEW turtles, and I think overall the core design, like most of the core designs, is fine. It's the tolerances that are horrible. I think it's the problem with these figures. I think the overall design of them, of the articulation, everything's pretty okay. Besides Leo's legs, but like
Mhm.
they're too fragile.
They're
They're
way
like
too fragile, and especially for being 8+. Like, I don't. They're marked as kids' toys, but they feel more fragile than NECA.
yeah, that's they.
Yeah.
Like I can met like with the when I got the Larson turtles, I messed with
Mm.
those figures constantly, and they never like broke once.
Yeah.
Broke once. Leo,
So
me
on
just
display here, real quick, is the Blue Eyes Alopex and the regular Rat King. Whereas in the package we have a Red Eyes Alopex and Gray Shirt
so what?
Alopex
So
and a
Eyes
Renee,
glow
Black
in the dark
Dragon.
Rat King because yay variants. It's the 90s again, and I hate it.
which Alopex? Because I know Alopex design slightly changed through the IW I've seen.
Yeah.
So like, which one's the most? Which one is the more accurate one, or at least to the
Um,
current stuff? Is it the blue one?
I want to say. Hold on, let me check something. I have an easy recollection thing because it's just sitting on my shelf. I want to say the blue. I want to say the blue is more accurate, and I'm just going to say that because that's the cover of Volume 14. Is
I
her
would
with
say
the blue?
Wait. There's a red eyes and a blue eyes.
Yes.
Yeah, I just said that joke too.
Yeah.
I'm at least
I
glad
know.
that
That's
the next.
why I was building on
Yep.
the red eyes joke.
But yeah, so I'm gonna go with blue's more accurate because that's what they put on her
I'll
cover.
at least say I do glad the next figures are the IW. I mean, Rat King's not IW exclusive, but like this version of Rat King
Yeah.
is super different. So I'm glad that we're getting very specifically IW characters.
I just can't be
besides the next
excited.
wave.
There's nothing that they can do to make me excited at this point. Like,
Yeah, so it's like all I want is to improve the
yeah.
quality. That's all I want.
I want to see
If they
Jenica.
improve-
I want to see Jenica already. I
Yes.
really. Jenica might make this whole thing worth it.
It's one of these. If the quality improves in this second
Yeah.
wave, I think this line can be definitely saved. Like, because again, I think
It has potential. It's
core-
just getting saved is the key word here. That's for sure.
So I would say at least you're not full like $20 or like I think full price is 18 at Target I saw,
Yeah.
which is at least decent, not too expensive at the
Mhm.
very least.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the thing. Is it's tricky, right? Like
Yeah, because I think that again, like
It
everybody
is tricky to
as
rock a rhyme.
because again,
Yes.
Right on
I
time.
think for like
Okay, there.
face value, they're good toys because they come with a lot of accessories. They come with they have very decent articulation.
Mhm.
It's just the structure. It's just
Yep.
the quality. Just is not great. It's not. It's the quality is not what should be matching with the rest. I think everything else is great except for the quality, which is the most important thing for a toy.
Speaking of quality, look at the low quality image that Toei put at the header on their top of their Boonboomger article.
Wait, what?
I don't know what is up with Toei and stuff. All right, it's Boonboomger cast talk time.
All right.
All right, you guys ready for this? Let's turn translate on so we can get some cool character buzz. I don't know why this image is like 240p. This is zoomed in and it's still tiny.
I do have to unfortunately have to go now, but I'll do at least quick comments on Boonboomger and X-Men because obviously those are the last two topics.
Yeah, we're gonna be doing Boonboomger and then I'm gonna break down the X-Men trailer. But yeah, go for it.
Boonboomger, I'm actually excited. It looks like the Sentai I've been waiting for years now.
They brought everything back, including the dance ending.
Yeah. Also, what's the car villain? The little tiny car villain.
Let's see if I can find him real quick. Is he in this?
I love him.
Here, look at Tiny Car.
I first saw it. I thought it was like a mascot, like
There it
big
is.
car. I thought it was like a big.
No,
car,
he's like
tiny.
buddy sized.
I love it. He's tiny.
Yeah.
I love it. Friend. So yeah, I actually really look forward to it. X-Men 97. I'm not sure how I feel about X-Men 97 yet because the animation weirds me out. Like it's one of these where it's like
you'll love my discussion on it.
When I watch it,
yeah. Watch the stream archive later because I have so many thoughts about that X-Men trailer, and that's why I want to get to it. But
yeah. But it's one of these where like I think I need to see another clip to fully.
Yeah.
I think the problem with the clip was so like scattered.
I'm so glad that Ryan is like me and Cows, where we were like, I don't know, man. This trying to emulate but not emulate.
Oh, we're gonna talk about
exactly.
it. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. But
yeah.
I'll say.
I'm only bringing it up since he's only got a limited time, so I'm just saying to him. I'm glad he's in the same camp as me.
We're on the same page, Ryan.
You guys are gonna love when I talk about it.
The only other thing I would say about X-Men,
he's gonna like it. Ew, kill Soundout.
No, just wait. Just wait. Just wait.
I'm making a joke sound out.
I know.
The only other thing I'll say about X-Men 97
Down forward
is
2-3.
Yes.
the only other thing I had to say about X-Men 97 is I'm a little bit worried of what the marketing of the show is, because I feel like there's gonna be a lot of
Who's the demographic? You mean?
yeah, like because I feel like there's gonna be a lot of people's injection into X-Men, and the fact they're really leaning into the 90s, man.
I mean, look,
You're-
it's the 6th season of a show that ended in 1997.
I understand. Yeah, no, I understand that, but
And
one of the things where
my biggest problem with the show is the fact that it's our first X-Men animation since 2011, and there's like nothing else as an alternative.
I get it.
And we'll talk about
Oh,
that
true.
when we get to the whole trailer thing.
That's like my biggest concern is like, okay, I don't think the show's gonna be like that, because I figure it's just gonna be another like good old X-Men cartoon. But I really don't like how Disney's marketing the show in terms of
Disney has fallen into the let's market things that are familiar because we tried marketing new things and people rejected it. Which the real answer was that you didn't market new things; you just let them go out to die.
yeah,
but
that's. But so overall, like again, like I'm not. Yeah, I think I'm definitely gonna watch it. I probably have to marathon the '90s show before I do, because it's literally just the next season.
Yeah,
so
it's gonna. I don't know how it's gonna work if you haven't seen the original. I mean, they're recapping stuff. I don't know. It'll be fine.
Yeah, for those, I hope.
I'll make a joke. Hey Ryan, the joke is you and me should binge watch it because I never finished the original series.
You guys should do a podcast.
Oh god,
Oh,
me
boy.
for the first time actually watching the show. Me and Ryan. All right, just all I can say is Ryan, get ready to buy some weed. We're gonna watch it the worst way, the highway.
All right, well, Ryan, do you want to plug some stuff before you have to go?
Oh yeah, follow me at
Out of-
Tree on YouTube and Twitter. I do art commercials like the one you see is very channel. You want any? Feel free to DM me on Twitter or on Soundout's Discord protocol. Also, I'll just say one last comment is I do the one good thing about X-Men 97 coming out is it brings out the bad people, so we can just shoot them away from the fandom.
God, it made me realize how many people have no idea who Cyclops is.
What? Yeah, or no idea what X-Men actually mean, or what the whole point of X-Men is.
We went too long without X-Men, guys. All right.
All right, have a nice day, everybody.
See you later, Ryan. Thanks for coming. All right, back to Boonboomger. It's coming Boon.
Yeah.
I don't like saying coming Boon, honestly.
I like the cast already.
I like
they
them,
have a nice goofiness. I don't know. It's like
here's what's his name? Tire Handle.
Yep.
Anyways, they all have car pun names, but here's our red. You know what I liked about this? And here's blue. Watching the trailer, I was like, wow, nobody's like a hyperactive maniac. Like they have energy, but they're kind of chill.
They're goofy.
Yeah,
they're not unhinged. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Don Brothers.
They're the opposite of Don Brothers. Everybody's kind of calm. Yeah, the Mira Shifto is a little wacky, but it's not like Don Brothers. It's like it's good. It's like we got everything. Everything's kind of calmed down a little bit. They're like, King Oger's too peak. We need to bring it back down a little bit. We can't go bigger, so we got to go a little smaller. Here's Black. Black looks cool. Orange.
I said it before.
Orange has a great smile.
I get so much like old school vibes from them. I said it before, but like seeing them now, the cast, I'm like, man, it's just I don't know. It feels like they're trying to go back in a good way to like 90s and 80s to me.
Yeah, speaking of going back to the 90s, this is a very 90s cast. I mean, they look great though. I think they look really cool. We'll talk about Rika Matsumoto in a moment. But yeah, I mean, I think they look great. I liked what I saw from the trailer. We have here is Rika Matsumoto as Bundario Banderas. It's like an Antonio Banderas pun with Boon. I don't know exactly what's up with that name, but it's legit. It's happening. Bundario Banderas. Anyway, it's great because she was in 5 Man, so it's like a returning role thing in a way. But yes, the mecha robot is a base buddy.
Arthur all over again.
Yep, Arthur's reincarnated as Antonio Banderas.
I wish they would have just pretended that she wasn't in 5 Man, and I would have a whole lot better day.
Apparently, she's just using her Ash voice, but I don't know what her Ash voice sounds like. So
Okay, so have you ever listened to her Ryuki song?
Sure, maybe. I don't know. Was that the theme
Maybe
song?
heard it.
What song did she do? I don't know.
You know, the Ryuki song, Alive Alive.
The theme song?
Yeah.
Could have just said yes to my question of is it the theme song?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, if you just listen to
he's done
if you
that.
ever
He's
just
done
listen
that
to
to me before.
Ryuki Alive Alive.
Yeah.
You ever just listen to Alive Alive? That's practically like her singing voice is like her Ash voice, essentially.
Yeah, okay. So she just has the same voice and everything.
Pretty much.
Alright, anyways, villains. We've got Deco I don't know. I'm not gonna worry about these names. Here's one villain guy and his voice actor. He looks rad. I like his pants. And then here's the next villain. She looks cool. She's got a skirt and stuff. Is she? Here's a question, guys. Do you think the fandom's going to be normal about her design, or do you think there's going to be a lot of
Let me see.
art?
Well,
Let me see, and I'll tell you.
I'm not gonna say anything except that no matter what you think, there's gonna be a lot or not. I do have to reiterate, it is a rule, and that's all I'll say.
That's true. That's true.
It is a rule,
Not
not a suggestion.
Yep.
There's like a lag on the screen right now.
Is she?
Oh no, it's probably gonna happen. It's probably gonna.
I mean, I already saw people
probably
like starting up the thirst trap for Jeremy's mom. So like,
Oh, that'll sound out. They didn't start. It was already here.
oh no!
It's
After what she
basically-
did in this week's episode, it went back way higher than it ever did before. It
well,
wasn't.
listen.
The previous was a tickle compared to what happened this week. Yeah.
Listen.
Yes.
It's gonna happen, whether you like it or not. It's gonna happen. I'm sorry to say, it's happening.
And then we got car, little tiny car. Yarka. This is the line art for them, which looks rad as always. Here we got suit actor information. I think Hiroshi Mori is going to be Boon Red. Takahiro Yoneoka is going to be Boon Blue. Yume Sakanashi is Boon Pink. Shigeki Ito is Boon Black. Tomasa Ono is Boon Orange. And the ending theme will be sung by Rika Matsumoto, and it will be a dancing theme for the first time in years. And there's also somebody else in the cast that they haven't shown yet, because there's like a silhouetted out person in white here. So cool. I'm excited. I'm excited for this. I don't think I have any like deep thoughts besides give me the show. I'm ready for the show. You know? You guys got anything deeper than that?
I like that. I looked them up, the actors, and I'm like, I like that they seem to be, also like older.
Yeah, they are
They're
a little
not-
bit older. Yeah, like everybody's
Like I said, that the pink one there, the actress is like, said she was born April 2000. She's what, 23,
24?
going on 24?
Yeah, 23 going on 20. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, they are a little bit older. They're not like they're not teenagers, right?
Yeah, which I appreciate. I'm like, hey, look,
Yeah,
life doesn't end after college. Who knew?
right. Also, we
yelled at the Japanese people.
yeah, especially with Sentai casting, we did get this new poster of Boon Red and Boondario Boondoris. I keep calling him Bandoris like he's a Bandora guy. Boondoris.
Dora.
And then we got a video that shows that there's going to be this little extra robot thing included with the Boonboomger Robo toy. And when you open the face, it comes with a faceplate to put on the Boonboomger Robo to make him into Boondario Boondaris. So.
I like being Boondario Banderas.
Yeah. I think it's pretty cool. It's also nice when a toy comes with more stuff than you thought.
Oh, Psycho O's gave all their ages. There you go. Yeah, they're all.
Yeah. Psycho said red and black are 19, blue is 22, pink is 23, and orange is 27. Welcome, Stargoes. Kaiju from Krypton.
So all of them except for red and black are in their 20s, which is nice.
Yeah. That is nice. So that I think that does it for Boonboomger, though. I don't think I have anything. You guys got any other?
I like Yakuza games, by the way.
Yeah. Everybody's older, right?
Yep.
Okay. I think it's time. I think it's X time. It's X-Men 97 time. Apologies for how long I go on about this. We may not be done in 18 minutes. We're gonna find out. So we got this X-Men poster. It says new episodes, new era, X-Men 97, and I'm I resized my window today, and I think that was a mistake because it doesn't work.
Zoltrak said my favorite line in that trailer, right there.
To me, my X-Men. I love that line.
I love that line. Me and Wheels did.
Yep, March 20th, Disney Plus. They obviously
that phrase might be used later this year by us.
Yes,
might be quoted by us later this year.
I like the VHS look, but you better be putting this show out on a Blu-ray. If it comes out on a VHS first, I'm gonna scream.
Yeah.
All right, before we get to the trailer, because the trailer dropped. By the way, I gotta tell you guys, I didn't mention this earlier with the Fantastic Four thing. Marvel dropped like news every day the week that Madam Web came out, which is just, I think, the funniest thing they could have done. They're like, Madam Web isn't associated with us. We are the Fantastic Four and X-Men people. Thank you. Are they dropping all episodes or at one a week? I'm thinking it's one a week because they said beginning March 20th. They did not confirm either way, though. But I think it's going to be weekly.
Oh, hey, Jennifer Hale's in it.
All right, so we got to talk about the cast because there is some cast shifting. So returning in their original parts, we have Cal Dodd as Wolverine, Allison Seeley Smith as Storm. Thank you. George Buza as Beast, Adrian Ho as Nightcrawler, Chris Britton as Mr. Sinister, and Lenore Zahn as Rogue. In new roles, we have Ray Chase taking over Cyclops because Norm Spencer has passed away.
Yeah, he passed.
Jennifer
He sounds
Hale,
like him though.
He sounds so like him. Like apparently, Ray Chase did all this research into Norm Spencer as a person to get his like personality down and stuff, and I'm just like, it's rad. Jennifer Hale voiced Jean Grey in Wolverine the X-Men, but she is taking over the part for Catherine Disher. Catherine Disher is still in the show, though, but she'll be playing Valerie Cooper now instead of Jean Grey. Not sure why. There wasn't a reason given, but it's possible Catherine Disher didn't feel like she could do the Jean Grey voice anymore, because it has been 25 years since the show ended. I think people forget that when they're like, why isn't this person doing... Because it's been 25 years. You can't always do a same... Your voice is not the same as it was 25 years ago. AJ Lukowsko is playing Gambit, which is interesting because I didn't think they were going to recast Gambit. But again, we're talking about, like, it's been 25 years. Chris Potter is still going to be in the show, but now he's playing Cable. Which kind of says to me that Chris Potter may have felt, or maybe the voice director felt, that his voice didn't fit Gambit anymore, since Gambit's supposed to be like a mid-20s guy, not like a 40-year-old, right? So, he's playing Cable, though. And this is what I like that there's, like, returning cast just in different parts if they were recast, you know? It's not like, oh, we don't want you anymore, goodbye, kind of thing. Which I think it's given me a lot of confidence in the show. Holly Cho is now going to be playing Jubilee. And that is because Allison Court, they actually do have a storyline on this. Allison Court is not a Chinese American, and she's not Asian, and she is a white lady that decided, I don't want to play an Asian character anymore because it feels like that should go to an Asian actress, and Holly Cho is an Asian actress playing Jubilee. So mission accomplished. That's great. I think that's a great thing to see because diversity in voice acting is not as common because you don't see the people. And so people of color who work in voice acting have trouble getting parts. So anytime they are given an opportunity like this is a good thing. So nice work. That was good stuff. The Ron Rubin is not playing Morph anymore. Ron Rubin will be playing President Robert Edward Kelly. That is because J.P. Karliak is playing Morph now. Now, Morph is going through a change, an actual like metamorphosis. Morph being a shapeshifter and matching to the comics counterpart Morph will be portrayed as non-binary in the series itself, and so I believe the casting is a change to reflect that change in the character, which I think is great. So it was also really funny how many people
be able to do this for Morph.
Yeah,
Yes.
It's not.
Also,
This one's for you, Morph.
This one's for you, Morph.
Such a great scumbag. He'll be great as the president now.
I think so. I think Morph's original voice is such a scumbaggy voice. It'd be great as the awful president.
But isn't Kelly supposed to be Senator Kelly?
Yeah, Senator Kelly. He was running for president in the show, and so yeah. But Morph being I mean, all shapeshifters in X-Men are pretty gender fluid, but like some default to certain genders, like Mystique typically defaults to female, but Morph in the comics has always been incredibly fluid, and so I think they making the character non-binary, just it lines up with the character and how the character was portrayed after they went into the comics, because they were kind of an invention of the show, but they're kind of based on another thing, and then they're kind of
yeah. I remember that. Like
Age of
Morph,
Apocalypse introduced the
yeah.
morph, and then that morph ended up going into Exiles, so they came to main continuity at that point. And then now they're gonna we'll talk about it in the trailer breakdown, but Morph essentially goes from looking like Morph from the '90s show to looking like Morph from Age of Apocalypse, with like the blank white head design and the less gender specific one. So yeah. Senator Kelly reformed a little bit but he's running for president, so let's see how long that lasts. Or he became
Friends of
president.
Humanity still there? I guess they are.
Friends of Humanity is still there because Executioner is the character. So
there you go.
yeah. All right. Isaac Robinson Smith is now voicing Bishop. Not sure what happened to original Bishop, because he's still alive, but I don't think he's been acting recently, and he may not have wanted to do it.
Oh, like my dad's favorite X-Men, Bishop.
Yeah. It's totally valid if an actor was just like, I don't want to come back to a show I voiced 25 years ago.
Sometimes that's just in case they still want to come. Yeah, I'm good.
So I don't think it's anything crazy, but we do have, new Bishop voice.
That's Domo and Kashu did that.
Yeah, that's true.
And he let someone with a shittier voice take over.
Anyways, Matthew Watterson and Ross Marquand are voicing Magneto and Charles Xavier. I can't remember. Are both original Magneto and Charles Xavier both dead? Because I feel like they are. I don't know if that's true. I can't remember now.
Wait, in the show,
the original actors, the original actors from the show.
Oh, the actors. Oh, that's been the character. Yeah, I don't remember.
I'm gonna look this up real quick because I'm trying to remember who even voiced them. Because X-Men 19. Let's go look up for the original show. I'm just trying to make sure. Yeah, okay. Zelchak said the original Magneto voice is dead. That's what I remember being the case, because it's been 30 years since the show aired. Like people die. That was a weird tone I took with that, but just roll with me.
People die. Like that sounded.
Yeah. Looks like Cedric Smith, who was Charles Xavier, still alive, but he hasn't done anything since 2018. He's also the ex-husband of Catherine Disher, who voiced Jean Grey. Maybe there's a reason why she's back and he's not. But also another factor is, if you haven't seen the end of X-Men, don't watch the trailer, or just watch it because that final episode kind of sucks. I don't think Charles is gonna be in it much, so that's another factor as well. Okay, we do have Guy Agostini is gonna be playing Sunspot. Sunspot's new to this continuity. That is a Brazilian actor. Gil Birmingham is playing Forge, and I believe Gil Birmingham is Native American. So, they're again correcting some of the gaps in the lineup of the diverse casting. MJ Klein, Phil Aiken. I looked him up, and Wikipedia still says he's acting. It hasn't been anything in a little bit, and he may not have wanted to come back. Or pay dispute. Never discount pay dispute. Welcome, Tom, man. Okay. Infinite, we'll talk about that when we get to the trailer. Eric Bauza, the voice of Daffy and Bugs Bunny, who keeps telling Warner Brothers they're stupid for not releasing Coyote vs. Acme, is going to be playing Sentinels. So, he's great.
Eventually it'll go back to Billy West.
Theo James is playing a secret role. I don't know the character's secret. Do you guys know the character's secret role? I don't either. It's kind of a mystery to me. It's a joke. Anyways, that was a bad joke. Other cast reassignment, I forgot to mention this earlier. Lawrence Bain, who played Cable originally, is going to be playing Executioner now. So it's kind of interesting how original Cable's here, but we've shifted Gambit to Cable and then Cable to Executioner. Just how cool is that? Infinity War Turn's excited about Gil Birmingham being Forge. I don't know who that is offhand. I looked up the actor and I didn't recognize him. But you guys ready for me to do a trailer breakdown? You guys excited? I'm going to do a trailer breakdown. This is going to be fun. I promise this will be fun.
Great. Now we have to fight the mouse.
And that's the thing. I'm doing this as the last segment of the stream for a reason.
Hold on. To me, My Hero Club. Fighting the mouse finally.
All right.
All right.
All right. Here we go. For some reason, it's not showing up. There it is.
Hold on.
There it is.
I'm gonna go get ready to square up. Jerry's getting
All
ready.
right.
Project's gonna show up when he gets here.
Here we go, guys. So, I picked 12 images from the trailer that I wanted to talk about because, I don't want to move it.
Up, and we're already taken down.
Already? Are we still good? Oh, okay. Thank you. All right. So, for context, I love the original 90s X-Men, but I do say it is the weakest of the three. No, I mean, I do. Or of the four, I think it's like...
No, I'm making a joke. I'm
ranking it, it's Wolverine the X-Men, X-Men Evolution, the X-Men anime, and then this. It's still a great show. I have, like, all the tie-in comics. I buy too many merchandise things of the X-Men in these designs. I have all the behind-the-scenes books. I like it. Yes, Silver Bricks, I did pick 12 on purpose because Soundout12. I love the original show. I wasn't really clamoring for this one to get revived, if I'm being honest. If you walked up to me and said, which X-Men show do you want revived? It's Wolverine the X-Men, because they left us on a tease. Okay? Every other show had an ending. Wolverine the X-Men didn't. So, I wouldn't have picked this one. But I understand the popularity and the impact of the show. Without this show, nobody would know who the X-Men were. So, it's important. The thing I don't want to happen, though, is for them just go, all right, what do we do after this? Let's just do X-Men Evolution Season 5 and Wolverine the X-Men Season 2. Like, I would want those, but I also would like them to go, hey, let's make a new X-Men show for a new generation, because I think that's important, too. There's a lot of people that are going to be watching this as the first time there's a new X-Men show on Disney+, and hopefully the X-Men can escape from being just the 90s. So... a revival of 90s Spider-Man, and I do mean this, would be fantastic, but I don't want a series, I just want a movie. I just want a Let's Find Mary Jane movie.
Exactly, I just want the end. I just want the goddamn ending. Just, in the words of Peter and Family Guy, just give me what I want.
Exactly. I don't want a whole series for Spider-Man, I just want a movie to wrap up the Mary Jane story.
I just want my ending.
Yep.
If anything Marvel 90s needs more show... it's Silver Surfer and Hulk, okay?
Yes.
I said it.
Silver Surfer and Hulk, I think, deserve it. Again, there's a lot of shows that deserve it more than X-Men, is what we're saying. But we got to work with, this is what we're getting, and I'm still excited for this. The first frame I have up here is just for me to say, to anyone that thinks the new animation looks worse than the old animation, I have to remind you that 90% of that show was animated by ACOM, one of the cheapest studios that existed in the 90s. And the rest of it was animated by even cheaper studios, like who did this final episode, and why does Jubilee look like that?
Yeah, the final episode, the final season.
The last season, they let ACOM's contract go, and Saban wasn't paying to get it back.
Yep.
Hey, guys, when I saw that, I was like, yo, when did one of the Planeteers get here?
Exactly! Like, I don't know what, like, the whole... and they show, like, the last scene from the original show, which is, like, Charles is dying, and... we gotta, like, move on. Yeah, and, like, Lilandra's like, I'll take him, but he can never come back or something, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I watched that final episode, like, 2 months ago. I should have this better.
That's how I want to go out. But instead of being a space alien, it's probably just going to be some wrestler from Stardom.
That's fine.
That's it. That's how I just want to go to Japan. That's the end. It's like, you guys can never come visit me in Japan. You guys are banned from Japan.
Yep.
What? We can't ever go to, not even for a vacation? You can't come to Japan or Wheels dies.
All right, fair enough. All right, so I just wanted to point this out because I saw a lot of people go, the new animation, and we're going to talk about how I don't think the new animation's, like, amazing, but it's certainly better than what the show actually looked like. If you get past the opening credits of that show, it is rough. Because it is mostly ACOM. And then when it is not ACOM, it's somebody cheaper than ACOM. Like this. So, alright. Secondly, they love teasing us with this newspaper. It's a Daily Bugle newspaper. Asking if Spider-Man a mutant. And the Hellfire Gala was covered by Eddie Brock and Peter Parker. Sorry, not Eddie Brock, Eddie Block.
What?
Eddie Block, not Eddie Brock.
Okay, hold on. So they're gonna. I didn't even notice that myself. So they're gonna tease me with Spider-Man shit. No, I'm done. I'm out. I'll see y'all next week. Nah, I'm out. Fuck this shit. Nah, I'm out.
Yep, they tease. And here's the thing: as people pointed out, isn't Eddie Brock, like, lost in space through a portal? Like, how can he write this article? Didn't Venom just, like, fly through a portal and just is gone somewhere? Anyways. Jerry, do you remember anything about Venom in the Spider-Man show?
Yeah. I remember him. He was my
Yeah.
favorite character growing up.
It
Shoot.
is funny because it does say
Spider-Man.
Eddie Block and not Eddie Brock. It's almost like they realized last minute, oh wait, didn't he like disappear? Also, there's a bunch of mutants on here for like a mutant fashion show, like a Hellfire Gala. I don't think this is like setting up like Krakoa era stories being adapted. I think it's just a little Easter egg, you know?
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Anyways. Oh, not there yet. Sorry, we jumped to Mother too quickly. Here's the shot of the Blackbird, and it's just nice to see the X-Men together. You know, I like that.
No, yeah, especially that old school Blackbird, man.
And also showing why we can never get a Haslab Blackbird that's in scale. Because look how much room is in this thing.
Yeah.
So here's the thing about the animation.
Spread their legs. They don't got to worry about it.
Yeah. So the studio behind this, I forgot to write down the name. I think it's like a Studio Mir or something. They've done other stuff. They talked about being animated in the show. This show is animated in 2D. It is also animated in 3D. I think we have what I would like to call lower budget Tiger and Bunny, where the character and talking scenes are done in 2D, but then the action scenes are done in 3D. Like, because that was how Tiger and Bunny did its whole thing, you know? Like, when you'd switch to action, they would switch to 3D models.
But are they, like, obvious 3D, or are they at least drawn over 3D?
It looks drawn over 3D. Like, it's definitely cel-shaded.
There's some anime that I've done, that I've seen, where, like, it's 2D, then certain scenes are, I could tell they're 3D model, but at least they're, like, drawn over to, not just, like, a very jank 3D model. They actually at least drew over it.
And so that's why I think the trailer looks weird with the way they've cut it, because they cut between sitting scene, action scene, sitting scene, action scene. So you're switching between their two styles, like back and forth. And they definitely aren't like, I think they're trying to keep a consistent frame rate between the 2D and the 3D. That's just kind of how it is. Yeah, I think, like how the Digimon movie, yeah, kind of like that. It's kind of reminding me of like the Digimon Tri-Evolution scenes where they're 3D, like where like the rookie to champion was 2D, and then the champion to ultimate was 3D, and then the ultimate to mega was 2D. Like they just kept switching back and forth. I think something like that. Yeah.
If that's the case, then that's not going to be too off-putting to me.
I think it'll look fine, better in motion than it does in the trailer. I think in the trailer it looks weird. But as we've discussed, wonky animation in a 90s styled X-Men show is just part of the tradition at this point. So, you know.
You want the full package. Exactly.
You want the full package, you gotta make it look weird. Speaking of weird, Storm's hair is weird, but oh my god, this shot of Storm. Like, it's just her eyes lighting up and some wind behind her, and this is... This is where I think the shift happens, because this looks like a 2D shot, or a 3D shot painted over to be 2D, whereas this beautiful shot of her casting all the elements at once is definitely a 3D shot. Also, oh my god.
Oh yeah, that is, yeah. But
even if she had a bad day at the salon, she looks incredible here. This is... When I say that Storm is so underutilized in media, I do mean when she just shows up and she's just lightning fingers girl. You know? Like... That they always did this especially in the later Fox movies, actually all the Fox movies. Like, the only power she had was lightning, and occasionally some wind. Whereas here she's like, I got a lightning storm, I got ice coming down, I'm throwing bricks of stuff at you, like you're gonna die, because I can control all the elements.
All weather, yeah, exactly.
Not just the lightning. So, yes, I like it. I like it a lot. This one shot in particular is just gorgeous. I love it. It made me so hyped. I was so excited from that point onward. Okay, next up, they should have been at the club. And guess what? They are at the club, guys. They all made it to the club. This was one of the weirdest looking shots in the whole trailer, though, because it's like mostly static, and then Jubilee's just kind of going,
Jubilee, yeah.
Like she's missing frames.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
I forgot the in-between frames.
Exactly, that's what it looks like. And again, I wonder if that is going to be like, you know, this is a 2D shot. The 3D shots will be more smooth because they're 3D and stuff, or something like that. One thing I am glad is it's not the what if animation style.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm glad it's not that. Also of note, Morph here is appearing more like original animated series Morph. When we see them later, they look a little different. Logan's face isn't off. That's just what his new model looks like. It just looks off of what he used to, but that is just his model. He's on. Everybody's on model in every shot, which is for the legacy of this series. Everyone being on a model in a 90-second teaser is a great thing.
Exactly. Take what you can get.
Speaking of taking what we get, Jean's finally pregnant. See you later, Mr. Tanuki. They were trying to have Jean be pregnant as early as season 2. They were going to have Scott and Jean get married and then have her be pregnant and have the baby and all that. They didn't get to do that because they realized that they were a Saturday morning cartoon where you can't just have one of the leads who sells toys be, pregnant for a season. So they just...
why Mr. Sinister's coming up.
Yeah, Mr. Sinister's in the cast list, so he's coming back.
Oh yeah, so
there
you go. That's why.
We also know because of the toys that Goblin Queen's going to be in this story, so we're doing an Inferno thing. So, yay!
Goblin Queen.
Yeah, I didn't have anything to say besides Rogue looks great, and I don't want to hear any sass from people about one frame of a show that was drawn by somebody that didn't have supervision that probably should have, being like the model version of Rogue, which it's not. And if you actually look at the actual art pieces in the art book that exists for the show, she did not have that large of a tuchus in the actual model. It was just one frame.
It was only in that Apocalypse frame. That's the only frame I've ever seen.
It's the only frame. Every other time it was like a normal booty. So anybody that's complaining that they reduced Rogue, they didn't. You're just not looking at the whole picture. Just looking at the one frame. Anyways, Rogue looks great. I love this little hair tousle she does. It's awesome. It's personality. It's more, her hair moving there is more fluid than like 90% of the original show, animation wise. And that's why I'm excited. Right, Jerry?
Yeah.
I did not realize the newspaper screenshot was going to get Wheels to just head out like that, but I'm kind of laughing at how that just broke.
No, it's hilarious. Eddie Block.
And he
knocked his block off. He knocked his block off, apparently.
All right, so this is a 3D turnaround shot. So it's definitely 3D.
That's definitely 3D.
Yeah.
But
multiple
the characters
Sentinels
themselves look okay, at least.
Yeah, I think
even
the characters
though
look
the city there looks... That's the only thing that looks all wonky to me.
Yeah.
But the characters and the Sentinels look fine.
But my bakery. Infinite.
Where is my bakery? That
yeah.
ain't gonna stop me. I mean, I'll draw Rogue. You pay me.
Yep.
I'll do it kicked up.
Anyway, so this is really cool. This feels very like cold open, kick the series off kind of opening, Like, oh, let's have them fight a bunch of Sentinels. And let's have Gambit charge Wolverine's claws with his powers. And damn it, I don't need
that shot. That was so cool.
Between this...
Kind of remind me of Ultimate Alliance X-Men Legends.
Yes.
Remember those days? Those days where you could, like, combine the powers? Yeah.
Exactly. And it was this, and it was that shot of Storm earlier that I was like, you know what? This show could be complete crap, but it gave us these two shots, and I'm happy. I think this show's going to be good. Because the strength of the original was the writing and the voice acting, not the animation.
Yeah, exactly. That's true.
RX0 says, would it be really funny if some of the X-Men shout something from the Marvel vs. games? I would love that. Just like Wolverine just berserker barrages after this. Let's see. Spin Dash says, would you be willing to drop a list of must-watch episodes on the OG before 97 premieres? You know what? I think I could do that. I think I could go do that. I could probably write up a list.
You and me are the only ones who like, out of the group, apparently have seen all of 90s X-Men.
We should cross-reference notes and drop a list.
Yeah,
in the
we
Discord.
should, exactly.
I think we'll drop it in the Discord. We'll do a list. We'll go narrow it down because there are some skippable ones. There definitely are. Fair warning though, you're gonna have to watch like all of season 1 and 2 because those are serialized. It's season 3 onward that you can kind of start jumping around. And then here's our big dramatic shot of all the X-Men together. I love this too because it's like Rogue flies in and drops off Beast and Gambit. Yes. Wolverine just lands, I guess, from the Blackbird. Storm drops off Gambit. Morph just pops in. That just looks freaking cool. I don't know. Like, I can't help but be excited even though it's like, all right, oh, we should be careful about always following on nostalgia, and the first X-Men animation after 13 years should probably be something new, and the animation looks like this, and oh, do we want it to like? There's that, and then I just get really stupidly excited because I love the X-Men, and there's finally something new with them.
That's how I feel. Like just. Plus, I have a lot of nostalgia for this, even though like I agree with you. Wolverine the X-Men is one that really needs a
Exactly, yeah. I mean, I do have a lot of nostalgia for this show, as well. Like, I saw this before I saw the first X-Men movie.
Yeah, I really like how Bishop is posed there.
He looks so cool there. It's kind of like how I have the Marvel Legend post.
Oh, and that's the morph. Like that's the one that's closer with the white head.
Yeah, the white head, like
the
more comic style. So like Morph's metamorphosis is not just going to be off screen. It seems, or Morph is just, Actually, now I'm thinking about it. Let's go back to the club shot. The club shot could just be Morph changing their face to look normal,
like to blend in more in the club.
Yeah, kind of like how Mystique has to blend in sometimes. Yeah, I'm thinking about that now. It probably. Yeah, I bet that's just like this is default.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, and then it's just like, but I gotta have my club look.
You remember the Evolution? Remember Nightcrawler had the
the image inducer thing. Yeah,
that
was always so cool, and I don't know why they don't use that more. And then here is the shot of the X-Men showing up, and they're
great pregnant Jean.
the C Magneto, but like this is I think this is the basketball game turned into a whole team event. Because there's the famous basketball scene of like Gambit and Wolverine and Jubilee playing basketball, and it's just like Gambit and Logan are just wearing like torn up shorts and they're playing basketball, and it's the 90s, so you just don't question it. And then, but it looks like everybody's involved now, and Jean's reffing because she's pregnant, right?
Yeah.
But like Rogue and Storm and Morph and Beast and Cyclops they're all and Bishop, they're all ready for their basketball looks. Like they're all thematically tamed. There was discussion on whether Storm would wear something like that, and I'm like, you know what? It's not a question I can answer.
It's direct.
Yeah, and then the last shot was Magneto using his best ex-wife energy, rolling up and saying, "I own all this shit. It's mine." He said that nicer, but apparently the last will and testament of Charles Xavier is that Magneto gets everything at the mansion. So drama ensues. And also this Magneto voice is really good. We've been talking about how good the voice for Cyclops is, but like this Magneto voice is pretty spot on too. So that's the X-Men trailer.
There you go.
I'm so hyped. I'm so excited. I'm really, really excited. I legitimately am. And it's I'm not like 100%, oh my god, this is the greatest thing ever, but like every time I talk about it, I just get excited about it. And that's something that I can't say for a lot of things lately. So, just being excited is just fun.
Exactly.
Yeah. Spin Dash is like, I have to wonder why that book has metal in it for Magneto to hover over them. It's the gold. It has those fancy gold like edge covers that you see on like fancy books. It's like just these gold like tips, and so he's just floating it by the tips. There's more jokes that just popped into my head, but I'm not going to say them because YouTube will take me down for that. Yeah. All right. Infinite asks the question: if you had a mutant power, what would it be and why?
Man, that's a good one.
I want teleportation because I'm always late to things, or I'm always like, I have to drive.
That's like the most practical one. Yeah. Honestly, especially for me too. Like,
I'll look like a blue demon if it's needed too.
My job search would be like instantly like fixed. Like.
Yep. LPH says more hype than the Bad Batch season 3. I'm really hyped for Bad Batch season 3, which is like on tomorrow, I think, or is it Wednesday? Something like that. It's coming up soon. I'm really excited for Bad Batch season 3, but I will say I'm a little bit more excited for X-Men because Bad Batch is the 3rd season in 3 years versus this is our first X-Men animation in 13. I'm starved. I'm starved, and they're feeding me, especially with Storm here. It's one shot of Storm. Jerry, do you have any other thoughts on mutant powers?
Me. Besides teleportation, I'd want Iceman's power.
Oh yeah.
I just want to be ice.
That'd be rad.
I just want to shoot ice and
Yeah.
make things cold.
Silver Bricks, I want Quicksilver speed because I'm already silver, so it works out. That makes sense. Spindash says, I remember Evolution having that pocket dimension thing where Nightcrawler teleports. Is that a standard thing from another media? That was from the comics. That was actually...
Yeah, I remember my dad, because he was
Yeah.
a big comic reader, told me about that. I'm watching cartoons, and my dad tell you know about Nightcrawler, he goes to another dimension, and I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, it was one of those things. I think it came up in like the 2000s, like around the time of the show, like the late 90s. So it wasn't like in this version of X-Men, but it was in like later ones.
Yep.
Kind of like, it's the funniest thing whenever you have somebody that doesn't know comic history watch the 90s X-Men, and Charles uses his Charles telepathically blasts Magneto in the 3rd episode, and Magneto's wearing his helmet, and my mom was like, but isn't the helmet supposed to block the telepathy? And I was like, oh right, forgot about that. That wasn't a thing before 2000. That was the first X-Men movie that came up with the helmet is the shield for telepathic intrusion. It just wasn't a thing before.
Juggernaut had that, but not Magneto before, right?
Yeah, Juggernaut had it. Yeah, it was a Juggernaut thing, but not a Magneto thing until the movie.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's see. SJ4 Jason said Archangel Metal Wings. Jeremy Carr said, do you think X-Men will soft reboot and connect to the new Spider-Man show? I think that Spider-Man show is going to be completely separate. This kind of I don't think it's going to be a soft reboot so much as it's like a fresh jumping on point. Kind of like the continuation of Animaniacs. Like you could just jump into the Animaniacs revival, right? Like you probably just jump right into this. If they're smart, they'll do a previously on X-Men thing.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
iconic.
See, they better.
Yeah.
Shoot.
I think they will.
That's what I'm waiting for.
I mean, they put one in the trailer, like by showing
exactly.
that wonky final episode animation with Planeteer Jubilee. Yeah. Let's see. So, and in terms of connecting to the Spider-Man show, I think that Spider-Man show is going to be its own thing. That Spider-Man show went from being a Civil War prequel to just being its own thing, and I think it's going to stay that way. It's easier that way if you don't have to deal with Sony. Cameron says, if they put Deadpool in this, who would you have him voice him? And his mutant power would be growth. I think Deadpool... I mean, I like Nolan North, so... If
Do
it's
you remember, speaking of...
Yeah.
I know you watched the actual 90s cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that quick glimpse of Deadpool in the 90s cartoon?
That happened because Larry Houston told his guys, just put in some characters. And that's why Ghost Rider ended up in there. There's a cameo from Thor. And there's a cameo from Spider-Man, but it has to be off-screen because the Spider-Man rights are with the Spider-Man TV people. So they couldn't just put him into X-Men like that. Yay, licensing. It's because Saban produced X-Men and Marvel Productions produced Spider-Man. They were technically not under the same company.
Even though they had that crossover.
Yep. LPH asks a good question. Why do people hate mutants and yet love the Fantastic Four and Avengers? So
good question.
Let's see.
You weren't born with those powers, therefore that's okay. I don't know.
Yeah, like the Fantastic Four and the Avengers, their powers are made. It's by accident, and then they're seen as like heroic figures. Whereas the X-Men and the mutants, let's just say the mutants in general, the mutants are genetic anomalies. And so it's kind of like the way that like people aggressively hate trans people for absolutely no reason besides them being biologically different. Like there's really no other reason. And so then they like vilify a group of people just because their biology is a little different. And that's, I think, where the mutant thing comes from. Because it's like the mutants are hiding amongst you and they could be anyone. And then it like, the people get all like stoked and feared about it. And then also because a lot of X-Men have turned evil. But I mean, Tony Stark also like did a bunch of stuff during Civil War, and he
was also a drunkie.
Yeah, exactly.
Shoot.
But he was a rich. He was a rich drunkard, and that's why he gets off the hook. Oh God! Wow, that is a reflection of our society.
Yeah.
Yeah. My favorite panel in a comic was from Rocket Raccoon Grounded, where the Guardians are like stranded on Earth because Civil War II was a disaster and like blew up their ship. And Rocket was like, he ran into police, and the police like pulled his guns on him, and they're like, freeze, and he's like, wait, I'm one of the X-Men, and they just like cock the guns, and he's like, no, I meant Avenger. And then they put their guns down, and they're like, are you really an Avenger?
LPH is right. Marvel's too real. So exactly.
Yeah.
Too, like sometimes it's like
Too real, yeah.
chill.
Yeah, so that's pretty much the answer there. Spin Dash, Juggernaut, and an X3, yeah or nay. Like, almost like anything in X3, nay. Except for Halle Berry's hair. Halle Berry's hair was good in X3. Nothing else is. Let's see. Why is Spider-Man buff and wearing a belt? That would be a lot of kids' perception seeing Deadpool. They have very similar designs. And Rob
That was
Liefeld...
me back then.
Yeah.
Since I didn't know who he was, I was like, that's what I didn't know Deadpool was. I was like, that's Spider-Man, right?
Rob Liefeld claims he's a creative genius that never took anything from anybody, and I'm like,
Soundout.
It's literally a Deathstroke parody. It looks like Spider-Man. What's up, Wheels? You're back.
Here's a better way to explain what. Yeah, no, I came back because I was I had to go to the bathroom, and I used that as a blow up as a reason to.
I thought this newspaper killed you legitimately.
Yeah, we were like, oh, all right.
I was like, oh, I have an out to go use the bathroom. Let me actually use this out and see how long I can actually stay off the call without anyone realizing I was probably coming back. But then I heard while I was coming back, I heard you go, oh, why do people in I guess canon like X-Men don't like X-Men versus?
Yeah, we were talking about the people mutants versus
people made disabled versus born disabled.
Yep, that's another layer to it. Yeah.
That's another reason why, like, me growing up, I was like, oh, I get these mutants. I get them.
Yep. Because the thing is about, and the brilliant thing about mutants and X-Men stories, which is why they resonate with so many people, is that it is, like, the mutants are a reflection of the people rejected by society for things they couldn't control, right? If you're different than what society expects, and people treat you different because of it, that's what mutant stories are about, essentially, right? Like, the mutants are an allegory for anybody that's different than what society says that you're supposed to be, right? And that's why it resonates with so many people. And that's also why, like, it's also why
still clip that part where I raged.
Yes, Muteki's got to clip a lot of things. Muteki, you're a clip master now.
I like the
yeah.
I was out to use the bathroom, get really angry, leave. I was like, perfect.
Yep. Spin Dash and Infinite both had two great comments. Spin Dash said, I feel like it's the, oh, you're here to replace us, therefore we hate you. Yeah, and people like Magneto, like, being like, we should be better than humans is, like, not helping that, which is what Charles's
it doesn't help.
conflict is.
It doesn't help that the Jewish man became the Nazi.
Exactly. That's one of the main reasons why, if you're doing a Magneto story, he's got to be like that's why the Holocaust survivor part of Magneto's story is so important, because he ends up taking on the ideologies of the people that oppressed him, and that's what is, like, part of his character growth, is to realize that he's doing that. I find
that so funny, though, that they decided to go that way to make him the Malcolm X guy, when, like, he should actually be the more caring, and Charles should actually be the reverse of the
It's kind of like it's the classic phrase, hurt people, right? Like, it's Magneto's pain and anger that he has to get over in order to be a better leader. And that's what makes really good Magneto storylines, is he's, like, working through that. And Infinite said people fear the things they can't control. That's kind of like just how it goes. All right. Cameron says, favorite X-Men is not Wolverine or Deadpool. First of all, Deadpool is, like, rarely an X-Men, so I don't even think it counts. But let's just go broad. Do you guys think I love Storm? Because she's been up on the screen for 10 minutes.
I mean, you keep talking about how much you love her.
I love Storm. She's my favorite X-Men.
I don't blame you.
Yeah. Nightcrawler's number 2. Wolverine's number 3. I'm a sucker for Wolverine. What about you, Jerry? What's your favorite non-Wolverine or Deadpool?
Oh, I'm boring and people hate me for my answer, alright? Like, it's Cyclops.
Here's the thing. If you guys don't think Cyclops is cool after this trailer, I don't know what to tell you. Cyclops is owning this trailer.
It's funny how this trailer made X-Men, the 90s cartoon Cyclops, actually cool in this trailer.
Yep.
Because when I used to watch, every time I'd watch 90s Cyclops, if it wasn't Evolution Cyclops, like, every Cyclops in media is, like, horrible. Like,
nobody knows how to do Cyclops in media somehow, right?
TV ruins
Cyclops.
Yeah.
They ruin him so much. And like I've told Jerry, that's, I think, the reason why a lot of people hate Cyclops.
Mm-hmm.
TV ruins him. And a lot of the more modern comics also help to ruin him. So it's hard to like him.
Yep.
That's the problem. Because I like a lot of old Cyclops stuff, but I hate a lot of modern Cyclops.
Mm-hmm.
They keep trying to edge him, make him edgy now. That's,
He's just supposed to be the heroic leader and the
and then they
the thing that made him
like
boring was the thing that made him good to me. Like
yeah, it's like the Superman
that's
problem,
the funny part.
right? They keep trying to overthink Superman.
You can put, like, this is the thing I've said, you can put a little bit of edge on the character without making them, like, some kind of douchebag.
Yeah, that too.
Like, there's been times where Superman has had edge without being a douchebag.
Yeah.
Case in point, that episode of Superman and Lois, where him as Clark walks up to the guy and says, "You ever try to harm my wife or kid again, I will break you." And then everyone's like, "Well, you go, Clark." Meanwhile, Lana and her husband all both know that Superman just threatened a guy.
Yeah.
Without no one knowing, Superman just threatened a guy.
Remember Superman 2? When he
did that Superman 2, yeah, as well. Yeah.
Exactly. That's this is the thing. That's the thing. I think the problem is
and then people complain when Henry Cavill's Superman crushed a truck for a guy that was abusing people. I was like, that's perfectly in character. What are you talking about?
I think the reason why a lot of people don't like Cyclops is specifically because of the mannerisms and the cadence of the original guy who voiced him in the 90s.
Also,
he always came off as a freaking douche.
Another thing too is it's the Wolverine syndrome, because a lot of storytellers can't do Cyclops without it being the Wolverine gene. Some
love
triangle. Yeah. That's why Evolution worked, because Cyclops and Jean were teenagers, and Logan was a full ass adult, so there was no love triangle. It was freeing. Yep. And I love Wolverine the X-Men, but Cyclops is a depressed dude in that. It's funny. Wolverine the X-Men Cyclops and X-Men anime Cyclops are the same character. They're the same Cyclops. They're just depressed because Jean's dead. Like, yeah.
It's me for real.
And the thing is, and then the movies wasted them completely. Like, I thought both castings were good. It's just they both wasted them. It's ridiculous. I want James Marsden back for Deadpool just so he can be a good Cyclops. Stargoes asks a good question, which is, they did revive the X-Men 90 series in comics during Secret Wars. Yeah, so does this render that series non-canon? Probably. I haven't actually read those. They're sitting in my read pile. I'm going to read all the tie-in books before this show because I'm excited. But I think that...
Here's a question.
Real quick. I think that they're not canon because they weren't written by anybody that worked on this show, and their finale arc, like their last one they had that tied into that, was like a House of X adaptation, so I don't think any of that is going to be canon to this. It's just kind of like in the spirit of things. Anyways, what were you going to say, Wheels?
Okay, I was going to say, so is it wrong to say that one of my favorite characters in the X-Men, at least in the base main team, right? Like, I'm just going to say, one of my favorite male characters that isn't Logan or Cyclops is actually either going to be Beast or Iceman. But I actually am one of those guys who likes Jean, but a lot more people rag on people who like Jean more than people actually rag
Jean's
on
great, but I've never
Cyclops
found a writer that knew what to do with her.
I think that's also the problem I notice, but no one ever actually wants to point out that they don't know what... Because, like, I think Jean has a lot of storytelling because of how she's very... I like the very compassionate Jean who's caring and trying to hold the things together when, like, Charles isn't around. But, like, no one ever...
X-Men Red was, like, the best comic for that because she had to be the leader,
Jean,
and it was great. Yeah.
Like, a lot of the times when Charles is not around, Jean tries to hold it down herself. And, like, I liked in the first movie where, like no one's paying attention to Jean, and she's like, I'm just gonna go use Cerebro. And then, Cyclops like, oh god, she's not ready yet! Ah! And he's just, like, freaking out, even though, like... Because, like, I think that's one thing, too, is, like, I also hate that they always tend to make Jean too dainty, even though, like, allegedly, even without the Phoenix Force, she's supposed to be super freaking strong. But yet,
the 90s cartoon version was always getting knocked out or something.
She had Deanna Troi syndrome. Right?
Yeah, no, like,
Deanna Troi syndrome of, I feel something bad, but doesn't actually do anything.
Yeah, no, that's...
Every time.
That she has
somebody made a supercut of her getting knocked out.
Yep.
Yeah, another thing with Jean that I don't like, and this is another thing, is that she has that Sue Stormism bullshit of, if I overexert my powers, I start, like, freaking having a brain hemorrhage or something.
Yeah, I hate that when that happens to Sue
Jean
Storm,
got
too.
that
Like,
ability.
it's ridiculous. I hate when that happens, and I'm just like, please just write them competent, thank you.
Like, I could understand, like, Sue possibly having it because it's a side effect of her mutation.
But I also think,
Because
like,
hers
if
is not a
Sue's just
natural
doing,
mutation.
like, normal stuff, like, if she was, like, force fielding the
Yeah, normal
planet,
stuff,
sure.
no.
But, like,
No, exactly.
when Jessica Alba's Sue Storm starts having a nosebleed because she's holding back Doctor Doom for 5 seconds, that was the most ridiculous thing I'd ever seen.
Yeah, that is ridiculous. Yeah, exactly. That's ridiculous. Like the only time that should happen is, like, a first case of her ever interacting with his powers. Only should happen that one time.
Yeah.
And everything else after her, never again. But, like, that's the thing about Jean, is what I like about Jean is Jean's, like, the girl next door trying to keep the shit down. And then I also like the fact that, like, she has this storyline that they always want to focus only on the Phoenix Force part, and wham, my girlfriend's dead afterwards. And that pisses me off, because there's so many things you could do with that story.
Yep.
Because remember, I pitched the idea to you before, and other people came up with the same fan theory. And you know which one I'm about to say. Jean, pretty much, I believe, loves Scott. But the Phoenix Force in Jean is a part of her subconscious where she wants a bit of a wild side, and that's why there's always that weird lover's triangle between her and Logan. It's the Phoenix Force is interested in Logan, and when it's in her, it wants him.
I think I agree with that, because that makes so much more sense. It really makes the love triangle work. All right, last comment.
That is her. It's her subconscious.
Yeah.
Like the stuff that she's like,
Right.
I can't do this. This is wrong.
All right, so the last comment on this, Spindash asks, given we're getting further and further away from the 40s, do they explain Magneto's age and modern era stuff? They don't explain anybody's ages in comics because it just it opens too many questions, right?
Like a Simpsons sliding scale.
Yeah, it's hyper time. Everything exists.
Eventually, World War II is gonna happen in the 90s.
Yeah.
Eventually, World War II, the Holocaust.
It's the same thing. Like you read like Larry Hamill's G.I. Joe. Like there's characters that are.
I remember playing Super Nintendo and having to buy war bonds.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was common practice, right? You get free war bonds with your Super Nintendo purchase.
Exactly.
Buy 3 games, get a war bond. Anyways, I think it's.
God, why does that work so good?
I don't know. Because I want to wrap up here, but the thing I'll say is that when you go to adapt it into media, what you do to make sure Magneto stays as like a Holocaust survivor is you just do this one simple thing that the Fox X-Men movies kind of sort of did without even saying it out loud. Just make a healing factor part of his powers. Magneto just ages slower because of his mutation. Simple, done. It's a thing. It adds more mythos and pathos to him. There, done. It's funny because they sort of did that in the movies, like when you get to like the First Class era, because nobody looks 10 years apart in age from the previous time you saw them. It's just like, oh, all mutants just age slow. Just do something like that. It's simple. We're done with the stream today. I think we're done. I don't know if anybody's still here because I was just like, we're just been yammering
right
off.
now. Figurize Blade. Don't ever put the red sticker on his belt.
Is that a bad thing?
Sounds good.
Don't stay on. I already lost it.
Oh, dang.
Golly.
All right, Infinite says, how powerful is Magneto's mastery of his control of metal? It's an Omega level, so he can just anything.
Can he like shift the tectonic plates in the Earth or some crazy nonsense?
Yeah, he can do anything practically. It's anything the writers want to tell him, or he can do. Stargo says, I'd laugh my ass off if they quote the game's infamous line. That'd be great. Cameron Metter, we'll talk about Spinal Carnage later. I don't have enough time in the day right now. My throat's pretty racked because we've been talking a long time. Thank you everybody for staying and listening to the discussion about X-Men and stuff, because I could talk about this kind of stuff for days. Like if we need to do like a 24-hour marathon stream, we'll just talk X-Men. I'd fill it up. Fill the whole stream. So anyways, thank you all for coming in and joining us on the stream this week. We ran a little extra. It was fun. Got to do trailer breakdown. I think it worked out pretty good. So thank you, everybody. We will, of course, be back next week, and there'll, of course, be videos this week, which will be light videos for me to produce because I need to recover. I'm in hangover mode from the Transformers video, so it'll be good times. Couch, you're off streaming this week, so...
but you can check out my social media, which is same name, Fighter Cows. for
I'll
anything
also
else
drop
I'm
your
doing.
Twitch, so you can follow him on Twitch. And then
Yeah. All Twitch.
when he goes live, you can you get the notification
You'll
on.
know.
Yeah.
Exactly. It'll
So-
be me and Soundout. Matter of fact, I think this Friday coming, since not this, I think we could play Tekken Friday.
Ooh, that'd be fun. Because I have Tekken now.
Think
Excited.
it's a fighting game break.
Yeah. Wheels, do you want to promote anything today?
Yeah, just go check out hero-club.com for all your hero news. Follow us across social media at Hero Club for Life. And check out our Patreon. We have a Patreon to help people just so we can keep the lights on, pay for the interviews, because my God, those interviews.
Costs a lot.
If you think Toei licensing's bad, try interviewing
see
somebody from a
agency.
Toei show.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Well, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for coming. We will be back, of course, next week. Same X time, same X channel. Probably not same X shirt. I think I'll wear a different shirt next week. I had to wear the shirt that I wear to events where people wear T-shirts for what schools they went to, so I can look like I went to a school for gifted youngsters. It worked one time. Someone thought I went to like a school for gifted youngsters for like medical, because all my friends were like in medical school, and they're like, "You also go to medical school at this gifted youngster school?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." if you think so. But anyways, it's like the old Scott Pilgrim gag. What's that X for? Oh, well, clearly one of us went to Xavier's school for gifted youngsters, and the other didn't. Anyways, see you guys next week. Have a good time, and see you later.